DRG Media Group and River 92.7 are bringing you all home Oahe Zap games all season long. Tune in on the radio, listen on the app, or watch live on drgnews.com. Now, let's send it to the broadcast booth for some Oahe Zap baseball.
Get your popcorn ready. It is Game 3 of this theatric 4-game set between bitter rivals, the Oahe Zap and the Casper Spuds. Game of the season, maybe game of this franchise, occurred last night here at Hyde Stadium. And we can only hope we get half the excitement today as we welcome you into the broadcast booth here at Hyde Stadium. Hello, everybody. Justin Cowart alongside Dylan Beach, our producer-director extraordinaire, Eli Lewis. What a finish to last night's Zap victory. They were down and out of it for most of the game, but you can never count this Zap team out. They come back from behind. They score 3 runs in the bottom of the 10th after falling behind 6-4. But it wasn't even before that when they scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th to make it a 4-4 ball game. There is so much fight in this team. And Dylan, I think this is a game last night that earlier in the season, in the month of June, we probably see this Zap team lose, but they're resilient. They get off the mat whenever they get punched, and they did so last night. There's a lot to get to. We do have to mention there were some suspensions from the extracurriculars that happened after the ball game last night out there on the diamond. A couple faces that will not be seeing this series again, and we'll get to those here in a moment. But Dylan, you had a front row seat to it all. What a win last night for the Zap in a must-win game in a series that will define the postseason picture for this Oahe Zap team and this Casper Spuds ball club.
Yeah, and I feel like we've said it about after a lot of wins here lately. Like, that's the biggest win. I know we said it after game 1 of the Hastings game after they battled back from so much adversity in that one. But last night was just a spectacular finish for the Zap. I think the Zap a month ago don't get out of the first inning of that game when you give up 3 runs and it's just kind of over. But this team has really bought in during the last month, and they are really primed for a good playoff push right now.
So let's pick that game apart a little bit yesterday. The Zap go out against a very good pitcher in Cade Queen in game 1. He went 8 innings, over 100 pitches. He gets the win, but the Zap come back, and Josh Porter gets the start, gives up 2 home runs, a solo shot to Matt Marsick, a 2-run bomb to Caden Wilcox. Zap quickly fall behind 3-0 in the top of the first, but they answer back with a run in the bottom of the first. They answer back with a run in the bottom of the second. And Josh Porter, after giving up those 2 home runs, settled in incredibly nicely and gave his team a deeper start than I think even he expected after a rough first inning.
Yeah, and I went and talked to him after the game, and he clearly wasn't happy with the start because no one's going to be happy giving up 3 runs in the first. But I went and talked to him and said, you really put your team in a position to kind of settle through that storm. You gave some innings. You didn't have to turn it over to the bullpen so early and waste a lot of arms. Him just getting through the rest of that scoreless was so big for the team, just being able to try to push for the win in the late extra innings.
Well, we said the word before. It was resilience, and Josh Porter showed that resilience because that game could have slipped away from him very easily, but he kept it close, allowed his offense to get themselves back in the game. So let's fast forward to the 8th inning. Zap are trailing 4-2. They get a couple runners on. Something that they had not been able to do in the games past was get guys in scoring position and bring them across in big moments, get a big hit when they needed, but they came through. They took advantage with some aggressive base running, scored 2 huge runs in the bottom of the 8th to tie it up. And like you said, that's an inning that we might not see out of this Zap team from June.
Yeah, and that 8th inning when you load the bases, and they would have loved to have taken the lead, but you did your job. You got it tied. You sent it to extras, and that was just a great inning all around. I mean, you saw guys contributing to that, and their backs were against the wall all night, but the Zap never gave up. And it felt like a month ago that fight wasn't there, but this team is really rolling right now, and this team is really unified at the moment, Justin.
They've really meshed together well. So they tied things up at 4 apiece. We head to the top of the 10th inning. The new rules with the Zap and with this ILB not postseason yet, but with these new rules, runner starts on second base. The Spuds were able to get some runners on. A big double into the left center gap, brings home 2, but we saw Connor Hammonds keep it close, and he kept those 2 runs in that inning small, allowing the Zap to put a couple runs together in the bottom of the 10th inning and ultimately win the game.
Yeah, it was a really good relief outing from Hammonds. Had the couple of innings prior to it and was really pitching well and getting out of some jams. And even with that one of those runners that scored was the ghost runner. So you have that guy on second base for the Zap in the bottom of the 10th. So you can kind of live with giving up those 2 runs. It was a good outing. He kept it close and got out of a big jam without letting it become a 3, a 4, a 5-run lead for the Spuds.
Good thing about that ghost runner, the Zap also got that ghost runner in the bottom of the 10th. It was Quinn Ludvigson who ultimately got to third. and then we saw him score on a throwing error that came in. The ball kind of bounced around back behind the dish. Quinn Ludvigsen, with his head up on a swivel, ran through the stop sign of Jamie Habger. He scored the first run as a part of that comeback. We saw Caden Bazanski get his way on the base paths, as well as Jared Pugrad, who was in front of Caden Bazanski, and it was maybe one of the most incredible finishes that we have seen. It's certainly the most incredible finish we've seen here at Hyde Stadium, maybe in this franchise's history. It was Nick Golden, who had kind of been at the forefront of all of this chirping back and forth between the entire Spuds dugout, some of the Zap players themselves. Nick Golden gets down 0-2, foul tips a ball that does not get caught by Theo Kummer. They thought it was strike number 3. They thought the game was over. Cooper Happ had a few words to say for the Zap dugout, but then he realized he had to do that 0-2 pitch all again. Nick Golden comes up with the biggest base hit of the season, keeping the playoff hopes alive. It bounces over the first baseman's head out into right field.
Hop.
It was just a crazy hop. We've seen it all season long on this infield, but the first baseman couldn't make the play. Jared Pugrad was able to score easily, but because they had the speed of Caden Bazanski on second base in a pinch running of Andrew Phillips, who came in after his huge hit, Bazanski was able to score on a bang-bang play at home. He gets in there safely, and the Zap go wild. Now, what happened afterwards? Well, the Spuds were rightfully, understandably so, upset about the foul tip that was not called strike 3. It did hit dirt, so it was the right call by Richard Gilmore, home plate umpire, but it seemed like the entire Spuds team, minus a few folks, came out, got into a little scuffle with a couple guys. Caden Bazanski got mixed up in it. Esteban Baca was mixed up in it. Those two received suspensions for the remainder of the series. Now, that doesn't necessarily hurt the Zap so much because Esteban Baca wasn't scheduled to throw again in this series, and Caden Bazanski, as great of a glove as he has out there in the middle infield and as good as he's been at the plate, there are guys like Gavin Frazier and Jared Pugrad to back him up. So it doesn't necessarily get you in the Achilles heel like it does for the Spuds, because they won't be able to go to Cooper Hack again. He has been suspended for the rest of this series, and a couple more important arms missing for the Spuds.
Yeah, Martinez, who's arguably been their ace this year, has been so good for him. He won't be able to pitch this outing. And then they had Kambulu warming up in the pen, and he got involved in it and got suspended. So some big suspensions for the Spuds. The Zap are really going to miss Bazanski having that glove at second base, because I think Pugrad or Frazier are probably going to be due for a break during this series that they probably won't get now. But, I mean, the arms that the Spuds really lost is really going to hurt them during these last couple of games.
Absolutely. So I think on the suspension side, it probably hurts the Spuds a little bit more than it does the Zap. Caden Bazanski and Esteban Baca sticking up for their teammates. They were there to kind of take the forefront of that while the rest of their guys were celebrating in center field. It was just kind of an unfortunate happening, but, you know, we talked about it in the postgame last night. This is a passionate game. This is a passionate point in the season. These guys are just trying to stick up for their teammates, and that's kind of where we've seen this brotherhood grow. These guys feel like they've been playing together for years, even though it's only been a couple of months. And, you know, the Zap, even though they're going to be missing Caden Bazanski and Esteban Baca for the next 2 games, they are more than happy to try to hold up their end of the stick on things. So let's introduce you to today's starting 9. As always, we'll start with the visiting team and introduce you to the Casper Spuds 1 through 9. Pretty similar 1 through 9 lineup here this afternoon that we've seen in the first 2 games of this series. Hank Harp will be leading off again and playing shortstop. Matt Marsick will be out in left field, batting second. Caden Wilcox will be the designated hitter today. He will be batting third. Hunter Billingsley will be in the cleanup hole batting, and batting fourth, but playing first base. Cale McCarville will be out in right field, batting fifth. Andrew Witt will be at second base, batting sixth. Jack Opine will be playing at the hot corner, batting seventh. Parker Burt will be behind the dish, catching today, and it'll be Trent Rucker out in the middle of that outfield, batting ninth, playing center field. For the Oahe Zap, a little bit of a new look at the top of the lineup. Andrew Phillips will be leading things off today for the Zap. Gavin Frazier will slide down to that second spot as he will be playing second base. Phillips will be out in center field. In the 3-hole, designated hitter Vince Palizzi, and in the cleanup spot, Ty Farwell back at third base today. Jared Pugrad will be at shortstop, batting fifth. Connor Hammonds, who had a great outing in relief last night, will be playing first base and batting sixth. Alex Jackson will be out in right field, batting seventh. Noah Cadena will be catching today and batting eighth. And Emiliano Curiel will be wrapping things up in the 9-hole, playing out in left field. Gorgeous day for baseball. A couple clouds way off in the distance, a couple soft ones sitting over top, backed up by blue skies. We'll let you know what both teams are wearing after we send it down to the field for our national anthem, and then we will get this game underway. I believe Jeff Adele is singing our national anthem today. That's always a good choice, so we send it to the broadcast booth one door over to honor our Stars and Stripes.
Oh, say, can't you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bumpers in air, came proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Always an outstanding rendition of our national anthem when Jeff Adele sings it for us as we get set for first pitch. The Zap are wearing their navy blue tops with baby blue sleeves. Zap across the chest, their numerals in yellow on the front. Underneath that right breastplate and on the back in yellow, outlined in baby blue as well. They've got the baby blue bottoms with the blue stripes and a nice strip of gold in between. The Spuds, well, they're wearing their black jerseys today with Spuds across the chest in cursive in white, outlined in blue. Their numerals in white, outlined in blue as well. Bottoms in gray, and they've got the black caps on today. Seems they didn't get the temperature memo. We're up in the 90s here in central South Dakota today. Sunny and hot with not much of a breeze. The breeze that is here is blowing out of this ballpark, so it will favor four hitters. Our pitching matchup today is Aiden Johnson facing off with Kylan DePorter, two familiar faces that we have seen this season. Johnson out there getting a couple warm-up tosses. We've got Richard Gilmore out on the bases as our base umpire here this afternoon. And we've got Mr. Blowett behind the dish calling balls and strikes here today. Told you the Spuds won game one of this series. The Zap took game two in classic fashion last night. One of the most exciting games that we have seen all season long. And like I mentioned, we can only hope we get half the excitement of last night's game. Maybe minus the suspensions this time around. Hopefully we don't get any too much chippiness here today. But what is a Spuds and Zap series without the chippiness? I'll tell you what it is, not much fun. It'll be Hank Harp to lead things off. He climbs into the right-handed batter's box. Aiden Johnson coming set, working out of the stretch. And now for the ball game. As Johnson comes set, his first pitch is high for ball one. And we are underway here at Hyde Stadium on a Sunday fun day with another new menu item making its way into the rounds. We'll let you know what they've got for you here this afternoon. The 1-0 from Johnson. Curveball bounces into the glove of Noah Cadena for ball two. And it's been a running theme all season long. The biggest thing these Zap starters trying to do, efficient top halves of the first inning. Johnson misses high, make it 3-0. And Hank Harp would happily take a leadoff walk to get themselves on the base paths. Had an absolutely outstanding crowd in attendance last night as Johnson misses high and in for ball four. So a 4-pitch walk is how Johnson starts his afternoon. It was Chislick night last night, but I think a lot of folks, well, they came for the ball game and came for this rivalry, but they were treated to some delicious Chislick that we got to try on the air. I certainly had a good time stuffing my face with that.
Perfect 10 across the board there.
10 out of 10 on your first Chislick try.
That was very good.
Good to hear it. So bring up Matt Marsick. He left the yard yesterday with a solo shot in the top of the first inning, one of two first-inning home runs for the Spuds yesterday afternoon. Josh Porter delivered both of those pitches, but he settled in ever so nicely in the following innings, gave his offense the chance to climb back into the game and have that firework finish in the bottom of the 10th. Short lead for Harp at first as this one's chopped to the right side. Frazier could be two. Backhanded toss to Pugrad for one, on to first. But just a little bit late as Marsick used his speed to get down the line. Not very hard hit to Gavin Frazier over there, but for Aiden Johnson, exactly what you're looking for after a leadoff walk.
Yeah, and it sets up the chance again here for another double play. And Just got to limit the first inning. You got to keep your pitch count low so you can try to run through this day.
So that'll bring up Caden Wilcox, who's been good this series. Johnson with a peek over at Matt Marsick at first base. He's a steal candidate as that one is fired in for strike one from Johnson. Normally these series wrap up on Sundays, but we're going to be treated to a Game 4 tomorrow night, which if the Zap could win today, they would be in the driver's seat for that fourth and final game of this series. 0-1 to Wilcox. Swung on and missed. Great pull of the string there from Aiden Johnson, and he's quickly ahead 0-2 to the hot-hitting Caden Wilcox.
And it'd be a big strikeout here to be able to take your mind off Marsick over there at first and really focus on Billingsley in the hole.
So we'll see what he offers on the 0-2. There goes the runner. Cadena firing down to second. It is in time. What a tag from Gavin Frazier as he fired it and dropped down. That was a beautiful tag from Gavin Frazier coming over from second base, and he dropped it in perfectly. And tip your cap to the throw to Noah Cadena made down there to second base. And, well, double plays out of order because nobody's left on the base paths. That's the second out of the inning. Gorgeous throw from Noah Cadena. The ball missed high, so it's a 1-2 count. And this one's chopped off the plate foul.
I don't know how he laid that tag down.
Count stays 1-2 after that foul tip. Aiden Johnson trying to work a quick top of the first. This one grounded sharply to third. It's looked like it's going to go foul, but they're going to call it fair. The throw from Farwell comes across the diamond. What a stretch from Hammonds, but his foot was just a bit off the bag. Beautiful play from Ty Farwell over at third base. Thought that was going to curl foul. Looks like Blauett didn't have a great look at it. From our angle, it certainly looked foul. It was a great play all around, but you got to give Caden Wilcox the benefit of the doubt. He has got some speed, and he legged that one out. Tough play all around. And Hammonds tried to do his best Freddie Freeman stretch, but was pulled about one cleat length off the bag. So that'll bring up Hunter Billingsley, and he takes a first pitch strike from Aiden Johnson. Couple of fans here that are finding ways to deal with the heat. We've got our first hat umbrella of the year, sponsored by Coors Light. 0-1. Just a bit off the plate for ball one. That was a good-looking pitch from Aiden Johnson. A lot of bucket hats in attendance here today, but I think none more stylish than that black and white Coors.
That thing is awesome.
Bucket hat umbrella. Some fans going with the traditional rain umbrella. The 1-1 is swung on and missed. Another good off-speed pitch from Johnson that the bottom just fell out of. And Billingsley might have been sitting fastball on that pitch, but he's behind 1-2. And this will be an outstanding start here to get out of this first inning, giving up no runs, something you haven't been able to do in this series just yet. You remember in Game 1, it was well, we're going back to the Sodbusters series now that I think about it. Here's the 1-2 from Johnson, just missing inside, and Johnson was halfway home to the dugout. He thought that was strike three. Cade Queen delivered a great outing in Game 1 for the Spuds, and maybe lost a little bit in the shuffle was the Jake Fuller start, where he also shined. 2-2, misses high and away for ball three, and the count runs full.
Yeah, and that was a really good outing from Fuller, and that's one you're going to remember if you're Fuller, but it's going to be one you want to forget as a team. But the momentum really shifting last night to the Zap and that big win.
Started to think, and I was going back to that Sodbuster series, as the 3-2 pitch is on the way and just a bit outside, and Johnson wanted that call too, but Blauett's got a tight zone today, so he's going to have to be on his P's and Q's. So Aiden Johnson has now got runners on first and second, but he's still got 2 outs, and now Cale McCarville will come to the plate. And this is one of those moments, Dylan, where you got 2 outs. You thought you might get out of the inning on that great throw from Ty Farwell that was low to Connor Hammonds. He had to stretch to get it, and he was just a bit off the bag. But you felt like you got out of that inning. Maybe felt like you got out of that inning on some of those 2-strike pitches to Hunter Billingsley, but Blauett didn't agree, and now you're in a bit of a jam. Johnson's first pitch to McCarville is bounced in. Nice stop by Cadena. Keeps all the runners at bay. I would say it's a scorcher, but the Zap have played in much hotter games here at Hyde Stadium. Some that have gotten up into the triple digits, even pushing 110 and feels like temperature. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and missed for strike one. A good fastball up in the zone. And we've said it all year long. Maybe the Spuds not reading the weather report, wearing their black tops and black hats, absorbing all the heat. Zap aren't really in the coolest uniforms as well, as the 1-1 just off the plate for ball two. They've got the dark blues on here today, but I think I'd rather be in the dark blue than the all black, soaking up all the heat. Of course, we get the benefit of sitting here in the nice AC press box. Johnson behind 2-1 with 2 outs and 2 on. And that plunked McCarville, so now he's loaded the bases. And what looked like it was going to be an efficient and quick top of the first inning has now become a little bit tight here with bases loaded. Still no runs across here in the top of the first inning.
You just need an out to get out of it, and you got those 2-1s fast, but just kind of been a loss of control, and he had a couple of close ones that he couldn't get from the ump to head back to the dugout.
Johnson certainly feeling out Blauett's zone here this afternoon. Johnson would love to get a ground ball, let his defense get him out of this. And he starts off with a good first pitch to Andrew Witt on the outside corner for strike one. That subtle breeze is blowing from the right side of the infield out towards left center field, so it definitely favors right-handed hitters as this one misses high for ball one. I think we've had just maybe only one game here at Hyde Stadium this season where the wind has been blowing in. For the most part, it's been blowing out. It's blowing out towards Aiden's area here this afternoon. Here's the 1-1 from Johnson. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Blauett, and that's quickly strike number 2.
Yeah, no need for an appeal on that one.
I think Richard Gilmore would have agreed with Blauett. That was just about as full of a swing as you could go on a check swing.
Yeah, he tried pulling it back at the last second, but the damage was done there.
And Johnson trying to get out of this inning without any damage done. Here's the 1-2. Lifted high back behind us, foul. It's going to rattle off of Jack's concession and merchandise trailer over there. And a couple of the Pier Wildcats asking Jack why he didn't make the play on that one. That would have been a tough play to make from underneath that awning.
When it bounced on top of the trailer.
Yeah, Jack kind of looking at Colton like, I don't know what you wanted me to do. 1-2 is lifted out towards center field. Tracking over is Phillips. He's under it, and he's got it. And Aiden Johnson loads the bases and gets out of it unscathed. So after the top of the first, sees a little bit of a threat. Nothing doing for the Spuds. And the Zap will come up in the bottom half of the first inning here, looking to take an early lead. We're going to keep it right here because it is time for our first inning Fiber Fact, brought to you by Venture Communications. You know the boys up here in the broadcast booth love a good first inning Fiber Fact. Venture Communications is bringing us first inning Fiber Facts all season long. Do you love your current TV lineup with Venture Communications but want to stream? Well, you won't miss a beat with UView Plus. Get all your live TV, all your favorite sports and shows, and all the local sports you love now streaming your way with 100% fiber. It's the great same content. Experience UView Plus today, only available with Venture Communications. And we love Venture Communications. If you want to get in touch with them and get your fiber today, call 605-852-2224 to get in touch with their business office. And tell them the folks from DRG Media Group in the Oahe Zap sent you. I don't know if it'll do anything for you, but you can just let them know that you caught their first inning Fiber Fact.
Can't hurt to try.
Can't hurt to try. The worst they can say is no, right? As we get our first look here in this series at Kylan DePorter, as we mentioned, we saw him a little bit the last time the Spuds were in town. And it's a dangerous proposition for Kylan DePorter, who has to face Andrew Phillips in the leadoff spot. I'm going to jog my memory. I don't ever remember seeing Andrew Phillips lead this thing off here for the Zap. An interesting new-look lineup here today.
Yeah, maybe earlier in the season, but he's really starting to swing it, and with his excellent speed, he's a real leadoff threat candidate. If you can get him on, you can really knock him around easily with maybe a bunt and a stolen base.
I don't want to make this sound disparaging at all towards Andrew Phillips, but when you look at him, he doesn't look like a guy that possesses great speed. He looks like a guy that could really throw the weight rack around, but he doesn't look like a guy that can fly around the base paths. But then you see him run, and you understand why they love having him on the base paths. And like you mentioned, he's been hitting the ball great lately. Takes a lot to move a guy like Gavin Frazier or Jared Pugrad out of that leadoff spot, especially with how good not only Gavin Frazier, but especially Jared Pugrad has been hitting the ball lately.
Yeah, and Pugrad, with his kind of pop he's been showing at the plate, has really kind of shown himself as maybe a candidate to maybe move down in that lineup. But Andrew Phillips and Gavin Frazier, both elite stolen base threats, the team's two leaders in that category. So if you can get those guys on, it could turn up for a really big inning.
And the other great thing that that does is the train starts to make its way by. We know the train conductor's a big Zap fan, as he honks every time he makes his way through. Definitely not to warn the nearing railroad crossings that a train's coming. He's honking for the Zap. Need to find our way to get a train sponsor.
That would be awesome.
That would be great. As Andrew Phillips makes his way in. But the point I was going to make before we saw the train come by was that gives you the opportunity to put two hot hitters in Gavin Frazier and Jared Pugrad somewhere else in the lineup and kind of create your own leadoff 1, 2, 3 in like the 7, 8, 9 spot. So always a dangerous lineup being put together with the way that the Zap offense has been hitting. And we'll see if Andrew Phillips can get on base to lead off the bottom of the first. First pitch from Porter. He shows bunt, pulls back, and DePorter fires strike one. We've seen a little bit more small ball out of the Zap lately. Not much, but more than we saw in June. They've been using that bunt and been dropping some beauties. Here's the 0-1. Misses high and away for ball one.
Yeah, they had two absolute fantastic bunts last night that really came up in a big spot for them, in which both runners reached safely.
I believe that was Jared Pugrad.
And I think Phillips laid the other
one down as well. Phillips takes one inside, crosses through, nearly skimming the belt buckle. So he's ahead in the count, 2-1. And it was great to see such a big crowd last night. Here's the 2-1 to Phillips. That one swung on a miss to even up the count at 2 apiece. It's great to see the biggest crowd we've seen all season long, but it was also great to see the Zap deliver a game with the level of excitement that we had last night in front of such a big crowd.
Yeah, you can't beat a walk-off in extras.
2-2 to Phillips. Curve ball misses way high for ball 3.
I'm sure Phillips would love to see a walk here. He's gone down looking a few times in the last couple of series on calls that he was frustrated with. Sure, he'd love to get some redemption here, get out on the base paths and try to steal a couple.
Walk would be great. Here's the payoff pitch from DePorter. Lifted high down the left field line, but has some side spin on it. It's going to leave the playing area and force a couple young fans to scurry over to try to get their free slushie and playing card. Always love seeing the route that these kids choose to take, whether it be to run behind the Spuds dugout or go out the main entrance. They're going to get to that foul ball one way or the other. Let's do the payoff pitch again. And it's high and away for ball 4. So right on cue, as Dylan mentioned, Andrew Phillips draws the leadoff walk. We'll see if they put him in motion here early as Gavin Frazier will head up to the plate.
And with Gavin being a righty, could be a double steal candidate, steal second, then go for third with the obstruction of the batter.
Let's get him to second first, and then we'll
just
talk
thinking
about
ahead here,
a possible double steal. Although that crystal ball has been just about perfect for Dylan Beach all season long. Phillips is certainly antsy over there at first as Gavin takes a first pitch strike. A good fastball from Kylan DePorter finds its way to the middle half of the zone. Diamond just drenched in sunlight here this afternoon. Gorgeous day. The 0-1 to Frazier. Swung on, fouled off into the netting behind home plate, and quickly 0-2. Bryce Van de Wastein was ready to field that foul ball, but Blauett said, I'll just take this one, put it in my pouch. DePorter ahead 0-2. Nobody out. No score here in the bottom of the first inning. Andrew Phillips with a good lead off. Another couple steps. He looks like he might be going, and there he goes. Swung on and missed by Frazier. Throw down to second. Not in time as it rattles through the mitt of Hank Harp and Andrew Witt, both of them over there in coverage. So Gavin Frazier will go down swinging, but the runner moves to second, and now Vince Polizzi has one in scoring position. And it feels like Vince Polizzi's due to leave the ballpark.
Yeah. Another guy who wasn't happy with his performance last night. I was talking to him, and I was like, you still had that double to start things off, and he wasn't happy with the rest of his game's performance. He's really trying to bounce back here today.
Well, Polizzi's certainly a guy that expects a lot out of himself. Phillips with a generous lead off of second. First pitch to Polizzi, taken down and in for ball one. And it wasn't like last year when Polizzi hit 3 home runs in one game, then followed it up the next morning with his 4th in as many at-bats. This year he's kind of spread those homers out. He's the home run leader. As DePorter taking a long look back and now delivering. Polizzi swings and fouls that one off the end of the bat. We saw Polizzi hit back-to-back grand slams, not back-to-back in at-bats, but in back-to-back games, something you very rarely see. He also had a couple solo shots, including mixing in a RBI double in that stretch. But he's been relatively quiet since then. Looking to make some noise here on the 1-1. Phillips taking off for second, just like Dylan Beach told you, and he's in sliding safely as the throw goes high to Jack Opine. We told you that crystal ball never misses, and Dylan's got a runner 90 feet away for the Zap with 1 out.
Yeah, it was just an at-bat behind. I thought he was going to do them both during the Frazier one, but, I mean, when he gets on, it's hard to stop him from just stealing all the way to third.
So now just 90 feet away with 1 out. Vince Polizzi, a 2-1 count. DePorter delivers, and it's ripped by Polizzi, but right into the glove of the second baseman, Andrew Witt. And maybe Vince Polizzi's dealing with a little bit of what Jared Pugrad has been dealing with throughout this season. Hitting the ball hard, but right to defenders who make great plays to steal base hits. So now with 2 outs, it'll be up to Ty Farwell to bring that runner home from third. Maybe nobody else you want at the plate in this situation than Ty Farwell. He has been on a tear this season.
And the Zap would love to strike first rather than having to respond like they did in the first 2 games of this series.
First pitch to Farwell is inside, almost wore it. This would be very strange to get through the first inning and not have a Zap hit by pitch. Farwell takes outside, ball 2. And with Pugrad lurking in the on-deck circle, I think Kylan DePorter would like to get Ty Farwell here and leave Pugrad for the bottom half of the second inning. 2-0 to Farwell, lifted high on the infield. It's crossing towards that netting and is just going to get over that netting before Parker Burt could get to it.
Just a couple of Spuds trying to get in and get a free slushie.
I don't blame them. Those slushies, they go down smooth. And they are very refreshing on a hot day like today. I think I might know where I go in the second inning when you're calling. Farwell awaits. 2-1 count to Ty. And the pitch inside, ball 3. So Ty Farwell in the driver's seat here with a 3-1 count. Runner on third and 2 outs. Zap have been so good at scoring early in games all season. They've had a little drought of that as Farwell rips one foul towards the Zap dugout and the count runs full. All season long, it feels like the Zap, even in wins and losses, they've been scoring first and scoring early. But in the past couple games, they've kind of gotten away from that. Would love to see them crack back in here with 2 outs. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Farwell. Ripped towards second base, but another night play by Andrew Witt. He's going to fire to first. It brought the first baseman off the bag, but Billingsley came back to earth on top of it, and that'll retire the side. So the Zap get Andrew Phillips, their leadoff runner, on, get him all the way to third, but they couldn't do anything with it. We head to the top of the second inning. No score here on Sunday afternoon at Hyde Stadium.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre's Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and
Johnson with the 2-2 pitch. Just misses a bit high. So now the count will run full. Man, I got to sing the national anthem yesterday, and then I got to catch my first foul ball here today.
Wait, you caught one?
Yep, you missed it. Driven to Pugrad. He's got it on the fly, and that'll be the third out of the inning. So the Spuds answer with 2 runs of their own. They lead 2-0 here as we head to the bottom of the second inning. I got to fill Dylan Beach on this amazing catch that came into the broadcast booth. Good thing I had the window open. We'll be back with the bottom half of the second inning after this short break on River 92.7.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers non-stop flights to Denver. Starting August 1st, book your destination at United.com. With United Mileage Plus, you can save more by earning miles when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 1-hour flights to Denver and the world beyond. Avoid the crowds, avoid the drive, and enjoy free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. United Airlines in Pierre starting August 1st. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre.
We're good at making excuses for things we don't want to do.
I can't work late because my cat has a job interview.
Unfortunately, we're also good at making excuses for things we shouldn't do, like driving drunk.
There's nothing on the back roads but cows.
The truth is, there's no good reason to drink and drive, not even if you stick to the back roads. If you drink, don't drive. No excuses. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
If you're interested in becoming a valued sponsor of an Oahe Zap broadcast, you can contact us for more information at sports@dakotaradiogroup.com or call us at 605-224-8686.
Welcome back here to Hyde Stadium, and welcome back to the YouTube stream. We apologize for all the folks trying to watch on the Oahe Zap YouTube. Had some Wi-Fi issues here at the ballpark, but hopefully those are behind us. We'll be live here the rest of the way. Recap it for the kind folks on YouTube, Justin.
Yeah, welcome back to all our YouTube friends and you, Dylan Beach, as the Spuds did score 2 runs there in the top of the second inning. They got 2 outs, did Aiden Johnson, but then a couple runners on with a double into left center field and then a walk, followed by a, deep hit into right field that went over the head of Alex Jackson. It was Matt Marsick who sent it off the bat. 2 runs scored. They were running on contact. And then maybe the biggest play of the whole inning we'll get to in a moment.
As Pugrad watches that one high and inside for ball 1.
I caught my first foul ball here in the broadcast.
I cannot believe it wasn't in here.
I know, I felt terrible. So neither was Country. I think Country might have seen it on as he was coming back in, but
1-0 to Pugrad, misses high again for ball 2. And I was over in the broadcast booth trying to get our Wi-Fi router. I was resetting, I was doing everything, and I hear the crowd erupt, and I hear all the players just start pointing at somebody. I knew something had to have happened. I just didn't know what. 2-0, swung high by Pugrad First baseman settling under it, making the play for the first out of the inning.
Yes, and that eruption that you heard was me catching my first foul ball up here at the broadcast.
What was the call like during?
You know, well, I wish I could go back and watch the YouTube. Nothing against it going down, but I can't really remember. I blacked out for a moment. I think it was a good call because I think it said in a foul ball coming right at me, and I made the catch. And you can still see the ball mark on my arm as proof.
Hammonds watches off speed in there for strike one. Because every time a ball has been hit in our general area, you kind of hear our voices just kind of creep higher and higher because we get so excited. But I missed it. The biggest moment of our career, and I missed it. The 0-1 from Hammonds, another one driven back. He's trying to get another one into your hand so I can see it this time.
Well, now what I think might happen is I think the floodgates are open. The monkey's off the back. I think we're going to get a couple more foul balls.
I need to catch one now. I'm going to fling this window open, and I'm going to get one this year. Hammonds behind in the count 0-2. Trying to fight here. Swings through and misses. A good pitch there from DePorter.
Yeah, and DePorter probably feeling pretty comfortable right now after that 2-run top of the second inning for the Spuds. And he's sure pitching like it. Got behind Pugrad 2-0, and Pugrad, who is a very aggressive hitter, maybe went on a pitch out of the zone that he probably wishes he had taken, popped him out, and then Hammond's there going down swinging. So DePorter has settled in, it seems, nicely.
See if Jackson can get to him here. ELO in there for strike one. Porter firing a lot of first pitch strikes here, working very efficiently. See if the Zap can try to get a 2-out rally going of their own. They trail 2-0 here in the bottom of the second. 2 away for the Zap. That one misses inside for ball one.
And I do hope I get my slushy because I did toss the ball down to a pure Wildcat.
They better bring it up for you. Alex better bring you it up in that little tiny glass. 1-1 to Jackson. Thought about offering, watches that one in for strike two. Was inside, didn't want to offer on it. Now he's down to the last strike of the second inning. Noah Cadena in the on-deck circle. It's good to see him all right after last night. That one missing low for ball two. Cadena, I got to talk to him after the game. I was asking him if he was all right and if he was going to have to get any surgery done to that nose. But he said it just grazed him and was practically just a bloody nose for him. So a very scary moment, but just turning into a bloody nose for Cadena. 2-2 to Jackson. Misses way high for ball three.
Yeah, that was a scary sight, but again, Cadena, one of the tougher guys, as Wyatt Gladue referred to when we had him up in the broadcast booth. And glad to see it was just a graze. Sometimes those little grazes can produce the most blood. So,
as a guy who battles a lot of bloody noses himself, it is not a fun feeling. 3-2, swung on in the dirt. Jackson running it out. He will not be there in time to first base, as we'll keep it right here to hear from last night's game winner, Nick Golden. I had the opportunity to sit down with him earlier. Let's hear that now. Dylan Beecher with the Oahe Zap here with last night's game winner, Nick Golden. Nick, it was a massive hit and a massive series. What was going through your mind during that bat and during the celebration?
Yeah, just trying to jump on a good pitch early in the count, just trying to really jump on the fastball. I saw one late in the count, had to battle 0-2, and, just jumped on it.
And, Nick, you've been hit a lot this season. The MLB league leader at the All-Star break has only been hit 16 times. You've been hit 19. What are you going to do for that big number 20? Are you going to celebrate?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get the fans involved, and I'm definitely gonna celebrate with my team.
Well, we're trying to get something special for tomorrow night's game. Maybe a Nick Golden theme for all the times you've been hit. Thank you so much, Nick.
Nick Golden, a great sport and a good opportunity to talk to him after an incredible turn of events last night. Thought he had struck out on the 0-2 pitch. Turned out that he did foul it off. It did hit the dirt. He was able to stay alive. And the very next pitch, he chopped it into right field and got the game-winning run across. And just an amazing, amazing finish to last night's game. And Nick Golden, a huge part of that. As the Zap trailing 2-0 here as we head to the top of the third. Aiden Johnson back out on the bump. It's been tough sledding with 2 outs for Aiden Johnson. The first 2 outs have been ever so easy to get, but after that, in the first inning, he loaded the bases, didn't give up any runs, but had 2 runners put on after he got 2 outs in the second. Matt Marsick drove them in. Let the Zap know they got to score some runs, and we'll see if they can do that in the bottom of the third. In the top of the third, we'll see if Aiden Johnson can keep it put right here. He will face off with Hunter Billingsley to start, followed by Cale McCarville and Andrew Witt. Hopefully for Johnson, he only sees those 3 here in the top of the third. Johnson's first pitch is down and in for ball 1.
Yeah, and he had a massive hit for the Zap last night to set him up to win it, and he's trying to stay calm on the mound and set them up for a big victory here in Game 3.
1-0 pitch is swung on and missed. A devastating off-speed pitch there from Aiden Johnson.
That's been what Aiden Johnson's most killer pitch has been this year, has been that off-speed. And kind of some of the issues is when it catches too much of the zone, especially with 2 outs.
1-1 from Johnson. Swung on and missed. Count runs 1-2, and there's that off-speed again, just pulling the string. So we'll see what Johnson goes to here, ahead in the count, 1-2. I think the 1-2 pitch on the way. Got him looking, strike 3. Caught the outside corner, and Johnson with another K. And you know, Dylan, I think maybe the only people more excited that we got a foul ball up in the booth than these 3 in this room right here are probably my dad. He has been dying for me to get one of these foul balls. Got a text from him moments after it happened. I think his Sunday is now complete. Well, it won't be complete. If the Zap can get a win, then we'll get the complete. Here's the first pitch, fouled off into the netting by Cale McCarville.
I still think you need to buy a fishing net, so then we can just really bring in those foul balls.
Then we really could get a few.
We could just be farming slushies and player cards.
Well, I definitely need to claim my slushie for my first foul ball. As McCarville pops this one towards the middle of the infield, Frazier and Pugrad converging. Frazier calls off Pugrad, and that's out number 2. So he has gotten the 2 outs. Let's see if he can get out of this inning without putting any runners on or having any runners come across.
Yeah, this has been the hard one, and we've talked about the Zap doing a lot of 2-out damage this year, but Spuds giving them a taste of their own medicine in this one.
Yeah, that's right. Zap have been so good with 2 outs all season long on the offensive side. First pitch from Johnson curls in for strike 1 to Andrew Witt. Well, it's a hot day, but might be really hot for that gentleman who's got the overalls and the long sleeve shirt on, the denim overalls, as that one swung on and missed for strike 2. He is camped under one of the many umbrellas here at Hyde Stadium today. The gentleman looks like he just got off of a
tractor.
Yeah. So just got off the plow. Hard working Sunday morning, head to church, and then come by Hyde Stadium for an afternoon Zap baseball game. That's a pretty good Sunday in my book. Here's the 0-2 from Johnson. Just off the plate for ball 1. Good spot, good miss there for Aiden Johnson. One, 2 on the way. Driven deep to left field. Back giving chase is Curiel, still looking up into the sunlight, and he can't make the grab. Bobbles around on his way to third is Andrew Witt. Relay coming in, and Witt's going to stand safely as the 2-out bug bites again for Aiden Johnson. He gets those first 2 outs with such ease, and then something clicks for the Spuds. So a 2-out triple from Andrew Witt brings up Jack Opine with a chance to add to this Spuds lead. They lead 2-0 here with 3 hits. Zap will try to answer in the bottom of the third. A good start to Opine as a curveball falls in for strike 1. Opine rocking the red batting gloves again, and he takes a ball just off the plate. Very similar spot, and right on cue, the Sheets family coming through huge. Thank you Thank you, thank you.
That one was worth 3 slushies, Justin.
I'm curious if they got to see the catch. Did you see it as Opine swings and misses on strike 2? Can we get a rating, Alex? A 1 to 10 on the catch? I didn't use my hands. I really cupped it like I was catching a punt, so I think I lost some points on that. 7.7 as the 1 and 2 is swung on and missed by Opine. This is going to be a tough play for Cadena. It bounced away from him. Throw down to first is not in time. It scoots into right field. The runner, Andrew Witt, will score from third. Opine's going to round second. He's going to head to third, and he might even try to take home. He's going to stop there at the hot corner. But what a disastrous play as it scrolls through the infield, and it's going to be a Little League inside the park home run for the Spuds. That's about as bad as it gets. So the pitch was swung on and missed. It crossed the left-handed batter's box. There was no chance for Noah Cadena to block it. It bounced off the retaining wall, kicked to the left, so Noah Cadena kind of had to chase it around like he was chasing a greased pig. Cadena turned and tried to fire to first base. Connor Hammonds tried to leap and get it, went over his glove, got into right field. Alex Jackson threw it in. It got away from everybody in the infield, and Jack Opine scored from third. An inside the park home run on a strikeout that scores 2 runs. You simply cannot make this stuff up.
Yeah, that one is a nightmare for the Zap.
And there's
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
And there's really nobody to blame. I mean, it was a really good off-speed pitch on an 0-2 count. Jack Opine, I'm not really sure if there was a hit and run on it. There couldn't have been a hit and run with a runner on third. But he just kind of delivered a half-hearted swing at it. Again, no chance for Cadena to block it. It was way off the plate. And then it just kind of bounced around back behind the home plate area. The throw down to first. I mean, I guess Noah Cadena could have brought the throw down, but still he was trying to get the third out and prevent that third run from scoring and counting. But it's 4-0 Spuds in one of the sloppier plays you'll see here at Hyde Stadium. Alex Jackson had to sprint over to the corner. I mean, everything went against the Zap on that play. Credit the Spuds for being heads up and running around and hustling on that play. Swung on a miss there by Burt. Count is 1-1. This pitch misses low. And inside the park, can you even call that a home run?
An inside the park strikeout. Like, I don't even know what that'll go down as.
4-bagger on a strikeout. 2-1 pitch to Burt off the plate for ball 2.
I mean, I have never seen a play like that. Ever.
We've seen some sloppy plays from the Zap when they're relaying the ball in. As that one misses low and away for Johnson for ball 4. And Devin Skelton, after all of that, went out to talk to his entire infield. And I would imagine that in that conversation there was probably a few words that we couldn't relay onto the air. Alex Sheets rated that foul ball catch a 7.7 out of 10. That's pretty high praise as this one is ripped into left field. Going to get over the outstretched glove of Ty Farwell. Burt's heading for third. Curiel was able to get over to it and slide it and stop it before it got to the wall, but the Spuds keep hitting. That's a 2-out double. And 2 outs again. And you really feel for Aiden Johnson because with no outs and 1 out, he has pitched so efficiently, so prolifically. And then 2 outs comes and he just can't seem to get that third and final out. He loaded the bases in the top of the first. 2 runs came across in the top of the second, and 2 runs have come across here in the top of the third, and the Spuds still threatening. It's Trent Rucker in the 9-hole up to the plate. First pitch to Rucker off speed, misses low. Tell you, the Sheets family really does take good care of us, don't they? There's the 1-0 from Johnson. Runs inside for ball 2.
I mean, they had to rate that foul ball pretty high because they brought me and Eli a slushie, too. They even threw the splash of tea in the lemonade one just like we like it.
Oh, man. I don't know why I thought about eating that on air. Here's the 2-0 from Johnson. Bounced into the chest of Noah Cadena, and it's 3-0.
Quinn Ludvigson getting loose in the bullpen right now.
So it has kind of flipped the script. It was a must-win game yesterday for the Zap, who fell behind 1-0 in the series. They've tied it up. Now it kind of feels like a must-win for the Spuds, as that one is picture perfect on the fastball. Count now 3-1 after the strike.
It's only a 4-run game, but it just feels like it should be a much closer game if you can just get out of some of these innings.
Johnson coming set. The 3-1 pitch to Rucker. In there for strike two. Rucker was about to toss the bat and head down to first, but he's going to have to face a payoff pitch. Johnson coming set, 3-2. He's going to step off and get organized. 2 outs, runners on second and third here for the Spuds, who lead 4-0. 3-2. That one's high, and now Rucker can toss the bat and head down to first. Excuse me, that was Hank Harp, rather, at the plate. It was Rucker who got that double into left field, so I had to get reorganized. But again, with 2 outs, the bases are loaded. And the dangerous Matt Marsick at the plate, he had the 2-run double in the top of the second. That made it 2-0. First pitch to Marsick, check swing, and they're going to call strike one. So if you're Johnson, you can, well, you'll have to live with the Little League inside the park home run or strikeout, whatever we're going to call it, but you cannot allow any more runs to score here. 0-1 to Marsick. Lofted towards center field, tracking his Phillips at the wall. He's got it. That was a dangerous swing from Matt Marsick, but nothing comes of it. But a sloppy play turns into 2 runs for the Spuds. They lead 4-0 as we head to the bottom of the third here at Hyde Stadium.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes. Pay by the round. Save with a punch card or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
It'll be Noah Cadena to lead things off here at the bottom of the third. Getting a color lesson from the Spuds fans on our YouTube stream. Sorry, it's purple, not blue, or teal, or whatever. So we apologize. I apologize for getting that minor infraction, as this one is in there for strike one to Noah Cadena, who squared the bunt. Tell you, the Spuds fans are full of knowledge. They let us know the Billingsley brothers are not actually brothers, they are cousins. And that the thin line of teal is not in fact blue. That one is called strike 2. Burt couldn't hang on to it. Looked a little bit low, but again, as Richard Gilmore always told us, it's where it crosses the plate, not where it finishes in the glove. And if there's anything else that the Spuds fans would like us to know, go ahead and drop it in the YouTube comment section. We'll be sure to get to it. Kylan DePorter still on the mound, dealing nicely for the Spuds here today. That one misses out in front of the plate for ball 1. Kylan DePorter with a good start today. He's got a lot of lettuce coming out of that ball cap.
And he had a long break in between innings. It'll be interesting to see how he moves through the bottom of the third.
That one misses up and in to Noah Cadena to even the count up at 2 apiece. Cadena with that really closed off stance in the right-handed batter's box puts his left foot a little bit out angled in front of his right foot. Here's the 2-2 from DePorter. That one chopped foul down the third base line. So Cadena stays alive. DePorter thought he wanted a new ball, started walking towards the home plate area, and then said, you know what, this one's fine. So we'll do it again. Nobody out, 2-2 to Cadena. In there for strike 3, he goes down looking. So that'll bring up Emiliano Curiel in the 9-hole. Andrew Phillips will come up after this. A little scouting report there from Noah Cadena to Curiel before he faces Kylan DePorter. Looks like that long break didn't faze Kylan DePorter too much as he gets his first strikeout here in the bottom of the third inning. DePorter, another guy that works out of the stretch with nobody on, not the windup. And we now have our first hit batsman of the ball game. I was getting nervous as Emiliano Curiel wears that one and heads down to first. After we got out of the first with nobody hit, I thought, man, this is never going to happen. But again, wouldn't be a Zap game if we didn't have a Zap player getting hit by a pitch. And no intent behind that one from DePorter. It was an off-speed pitch. That'll bring up the top of the lineup and Andrew Phillips. Phillips reached on the walk, stole second and then stole third, but the Zap couldn't bring him home. Big lead over there for Curiel, and they're going to check on him. He's back diving safely. I think you can only keep Emiliano Curiel over there at first base for so long. So we'll see if DePorter tries to pick him off again. One peek over there for Kylan. Now comes set, and they will check on him. That one a little bit closer, but again, safely is Curiel sliding. Phillips checking the signs with third base coach and manager Jamie Habiger. Curiel with another large lead. He's leaning back towards the first base bag, not going on this pitch as Phillips takes strike 1 and an off-speed pitch from DePorter. So we'll see if Phillips can get a little one-out magic working here for the Zap. They trail 4-0 here in the bottom of the third. And now they'll check again. That play even closer at first on Curiel. Late jump back to the bag, but he's again in safely.
Really hasn't had the biggest of leadoffs, especially on that last one.
Well, they've been getting shorter and shorter on these pickoff attempts. This one with a little bit of size. Still staying, and now Phillips trying to bunt, fouls that one off. And it's 0-2. I cannot stand, whether it's the Zap or the opponent, these one-strike bunt attempts.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it with no strikes. But now Phillips is behind 0-2. And he's got to defend. Phillips, an outstanding bunter. But he's been swinging a good bat lately. So we won't be bunting here. That one misses way high for ball 1. So Kyle and DePorter ahead 1-2 to Andrew Phillips here with 1 out. Curiel with another decent-sized lead over at first. See if he's running on this pitch. He's leaning back towards the first base bag. There he goes. Pitches outside. Throw down from Burt. Close play, but not in time, and the speedy Curiel slides in foot first. He's taken second. And the count is even up at 2 apiece. So a base hit here from Andrew Phillips could possibly score the Zaps' first run of the ball game.
Yeah, and you trailed 3-0 after the first yesterday, but it felt manageable because you added that 1 in the bottom. If you can respond here after that 2-run frame, you'd really set yourselves up for a nice comeback.
DePorter with the 2-2 pitch. Lined into left. Over tracking is Matt Marsick. He's got it on the fly. And another really hard hit ball by the Zap, but right to a Spuds defender, and that'll be the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Gavin Frazier. So the Spuds have scored all of their runs with 2 outs. Let's see if the Zap can return the favor. And with the right-handed hitter Gavin Frazier in that box, we'll see if they might try to test the arm again of Parker Burt behind the dish with Emiliano Curiel. Swing and a foul tip for Gavin Frazier. And that foul ball really came at an inopportune time, didn't it? You weren't in the booth. You were working on getting the Wi-Fi back up. The YouTube stream was down.
Which means you have to catch another one now.
We'll just have to get one more, won't we? Here's the 0-1 to Frazier. Taken for strike 2.
I'm just glad you finally got one, and that one that hit the glass when we didn't have the window open can't haunt us anymore.
It was haunting me. It sure was.
It's all I've been thinking about.
Because I kept looking at the schedule and thinking we're just knocking games down and we're getting closer and closer to the final regular season home game. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Frazier. He waited on the off-speed but couldn't make contact with it, and he goes down swinging. So Kyle and DePorter continuing to deal. Spuds lead 4-0 as we head to the top of the 4th.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night. So get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on oahezap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, we've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
Get a tater race here, tater sack race at the ballpark. Our slushies have been done and dusted. That sure was a nice treat on such a hot day.
I'm glad I could deliver those for you.
Yeah, that was clutch of you, Justin. Maybe they felt for me and Eli because we were running around with like we were chickens with our heads cut off trying to fix the Wi-Fi.
I sure felt for you. But leave it up to the Sheets family, Becca and Alex, to always take care of their own. They always have all season long. They have taken their mentality of always wanting to help the community and deliver them the best possible product and best possible fan experience. And that even bleeds through to the broadcast team. It's good to see a big crowd pay off for them yesterday, too.
As first pitch bunt, Farwell, bare hand, throw to first, the snag from Hammonds.
What a play all around.
Outstretched Hammonds brings in a bullet from Ty Farwell. He had to bare hand pick it up off the grass. And what a play to start the inning for the Zap.
Yeah, and a little bit of sportsmanship from Cale McCarville pointing down to Ty Farwell at third, kind of tipping him, saying that was a dang good play. And how about Hammonds stretching out the hammies, getting that pick over at first base. All around great play. Cale McCarville had to tip his helmet there on that one.
You had to be pretty perfect to make that play, and that is exactly what the Zap did there. And Kale McCarville showing respect on a web gem there from the Zap.
It was also a great bunt from Kale McCarville, too.
The 1-0 now from Johnson. Chopped sharply to Frazier, fielded cleanly, firing over to Hammonds. No need to stretch for that one for the second out of the inning.
And again, we said it last inning, feels a little bit like deja vu. 2 very quick outs for Aiden Johnson. Now can he get the third without allowing any damage?
Yeah, 3 pitches, 2 outs for Johnson. And here's where it's been getting tricky. 2 outs, the Spuds have just been lethal today.
Sorry, that was actually Caden Wilcox on the bunt, but it was Cale McCarville who was showing a little bit of love down to Ty Farwell at third.
As Johnson trying to get out of this one, trying to get his offense going as he misses there for ball 1. That kind of dynamic between the confidence in your hitters and the hitter's confidence in the pitcher is so important. And we saw it yesterday when Josh Porter kind of got rocked early, gave up those 3 runs. As that one's fouled our way, will it hop up? And it goes into the chairs. That one was heading right for me. I thought if that one had a hop, I might have gotten one.
Well, now every time that one's coming our way, not that we weren't before, but we are about jumping out of our broadcast booth here to get to it.
1-1 here from Johnson. Off speed, runs in, hits the helmet of Cale McCarville.
It's kind of perplexing.
2 outs have just been cursed for Aiden Johnson today.
It really is. It's hard to figure out because the strangest thing is with the amount of ease that he gets the first 2 outs.
I mean, this inning had got those 2 outs and 3 pitches. Now he checks on McCarville, and that one gets away from Hammonds. So McCarville will take second standing.
It's just stuff like this. It's these little errant plays that have kind of been the Achilles heel of the Zap today.
Zap of yesteryear are kind of showing through right now, and they've been playing so good here as of late, contending for that second half championship. The 0-0 swung on and missed for strike 1. And despite some poor play for the Zap, including a multitude of errors, still just a 4-run ball game. But outside of a couple of innings, the offense has struggled versus some excellent pitching from the Spuds this weekend.
Yeah, their starters have been absolutely glistening. Saw Cade Queen go 8 innings of nearly perfect baseball. Saw a good start yesterday out of that rotation.
0-1 put into play. Jackson giving chase, diving and making the play. He slid for that one. Alex Jackson's signature brings in the 3rd out of the inning. We'll see if the Zap can respond in the bottom of the 4th here on River 92.7.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media peek can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes. Pay by the round. Save with a punch card or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Kylan DePorter throwing an absolute beaut here today. He's got the run support to back it up. The Spuds lead 4-0 over the home team, the Oahe Zap. So we join you back into the broadcast booth. Dylan Beach, Justin Cowart, and Eli Lewis, as always. It'll be the 3-4-5 for the Oahe Zap. Palizzi, Farwell, and Pugrad. So a dangerous part of the lineup to maybe get things going. Porter sets, fires, off speed, in there for strike one. Richard Gilmore's taught these umps a lot of things, and I think he might have taught this guy to take his time doing the strike call over there for a second.
Well, that's how you're supposed to do it. Make sure, take a beat. Make sure you get the call right.
0-1 to Palizzi, that one missing for ball one.
And I think, too, probably the best traveling fans that we've seen out of an opposing team this year. We saw a lot of Spuds fans here yesterday, so good to see them out supporting the boys.
1-1 here to Palizzi, in there for strike two. Palizzi asking where that one hit.
Blowett expanding the zone a little bit as this game goes along, as he gets comfortable.
Count runs 1-2 to Palizzi. Trying to get a rally started for the Zap. DePorter, and devastating off-speed pitch in the dirt, gets Palizzi chasing for strike three.
Yeah, I think for Palizzi, they're probably just trying to defend the plate, stay alive. It was a check swing. They wanted to hold it up, but that off-speed pitch has so much bite out of the hand of DePorter. Hard to hold up.
It just absolutely died at the plate. A beautiful pitch. Brings Ty Farwell to the plate. First offering to him swung foul. Zap still yet to get a hit in this ball game.
Had shades of game one of this series against Cade Queen.
Zap have had some well-struck balls, but had some walks that have brought some runners around, but have not been able to get that timely hit to score them. That one misses for ball one. One and one here to Ty Farwell in a crucial game 3 of 4, as there's a timeout called. Ludvigson still getting loose in the bullpen for the Zap. I'd have to assume that last probably being Aiden Johnson's last inning of work today. Pitch count getting high. 1-1 to Farwell, sky high. Opine giving chase. We'll see if it leaves the ballpark. He brings it in the glove. Drifts in to the glove for the second out of the inning. Now Pugrad climbs in, trying to get some sort of a spark of momentum for the Zap. It has been all Spuds in this one so far.
Yeah, and it hasn't really been the Spuds, beating you with their bats. It's more so been the Zap kind of beating themselves. But credit the Spuds for taking advantage of it.
That one skips in, and you're right there, Justin. Without that one strike 3 call that you got, you would have been out of the inning, but it was a tough play for Cadena. Wasn't going to be able to make the throw to first, and then it gets to the outfield and scores the third and the fourth run of the ball game. It'd just be a 2-0 game. Errors really starting to accumulate for the Zap. That one missing high for ball 2.
And I think when Cadena goes back and kind of watches that play again, he might be a little bit upset. There was an opportunity maybe to eat that and get the runner coming in from third in a pickle. Would have been a good trade-off.
2-0 skips in for ball 3, so Pugrad quickly ahead of the count with 2 away.
And you'd love to get them all back here in one inning, but for the Zap, when you haven't recorded a hit yet, would be good for your offense to just maybe get somebody on, move them around, bring in 1, maybe 2, and just chip away.
3-0 here to Pugrad, and this is a 4-pitch walk with 2 away for today's shortstop.
Connor Hammonds feels like he's due for a big base hit.
They had that outstanding stretch earlier on a great play between him and Ty Farwell. Hammonds came in last night, pitched very well for the Zap, giving up those 2 runs, but one of them being a ghost runner. As he comes up, launches that one in there for strike 1. That one looked low from up here, but dropping out. As Hammonds, during that celebration last night, we talked about the Gatorade cooler ending up in center field. Also, when they threw the Gatorade cooler on Nick Golden, they threw it a little too hard. So that one skips in. A great block there from Parker Burt. They kind of threw the water, and when they released it, it errantly hit Connor Hammonds in the mouth. So
the water or the Gatorade?
The cooler.
Oh, jeez. So we got Noah Cadena taking a pitch to the nose, and then Connor Hammonds taking a cooler to the face.
Yeah. Congrats on your great pitching outing. Here's a Gatorade cooler right to the teeth. But I talked to Hammonds. He was all right.
Win's a win, man.
1-1 to Connor Hammonds. Swung sky high. Parker Burt throwing off the gear. Opine chasing. And that one bounces in fair. That one landed in fair territory and then skipped out on a weird play.
I thought that caught Opine's glove on the way down and then landed in fair territory, which would have made that a fair ball. Must have not caught any leather.
As Pugrad will trot back to first. And Opine was trying to bring it in. We don't know if it caught any part of the glove, but it was a quick decision there from Blauett. Didn't consult Richard Gilmore. So it'll go in as a foul ball, and Hammond stays alive. We'll see if he can deliver here. The 1-2, swung, driven sky high once again. This one's not going to drift foul. Second baseman bringing in Andrew Witt records the 3rd out of the inning. The Zap still trailing 4-0 here on a Sunday matinee.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
Quinn Ludvigson, the new relief pitcher here for the Zap as we make our way to the top of the 5th inning. Spuds leading 4-0. Zap have still yet to record their first hit of the ball game. And, we saw this with the Sodbusters series, a big win the night before a doubleheader. They had an afternoon game the following day, came out a little stale in that first game of 2. Couldn't really get it going really until the second game. Maybe the Zap dealing with a little bit of that after a huge victory last night. as the first pitch is high and away to Jack Opine, and Ludvigson's day starts with a ball. But they just feel like they're a little bit stale here this afternoon. Haven't really settled in yet offensively, making a couple errors defensively. Ludvigson gets a big swing and a miss from Opine on the 1-0 to make it 1-1.
They might need Coach Skelton to fire him up again.
Yeah, look out, Mr. Blowett. Here's the 1-1 from Ludvigson, ripped and right to a waiting Connor Hammonds. So Ludvigson gets a swing and a line out. That's the first out of the inning. It'll bring up Parker Burt, the 8-hole and the beer batter today. He's already gone down and gotten a little discount on the beer for the folks here at Hyde Stadium. Let's see if he can do it again. Ludvigson working quickly. The tall left-hander comes set and delivers a first pitch ball to Parker Burt. One of the few double first name guys. As this one's in there for strike one from Ludvigson. Alex Jackson, another double first name guy for the Zap. Andrew Phillips would be if he didn't have an S on the back of that last name. 1-1 from Ludvigson. Swung on and missed for strike two.
Now I got to look at the whole roster and see how many others there are.
Eli Lewis is pretty close.
Yeah, I think you can go for that one.
Drop that one in. So Dylan will study the roster here while the 1-2 from Ludvigson misses outside for ball two.
Maybe Aiden Johnson?
Yeah, Johnson Wagner, the guy on the Golf Channel's got Johnson as a first name. Not a very common first name, but. Here's the 2-2 from Quinn. That one ripped sharply to third base. Farwell's got it, firing across the diamond for the second out of the inning. Farwell's glove has been good over there.
Sorry,
You're still doing the double first name.
Drew Drake, Brady Glenn. I'm done. Those are two big ones.
Well, if you find any more, we're dying to hear about it. So Parker Burt goes down on a 5-3 putout. And now the 9-hole hitter, Trent Rucker, takes strike one on a really good curveball. Ludvigson ahead 0-1. Ludvigson gets a foul ball into the Spuds dugout. Look out. If you're not paying attention over there, that could do some damage. Luckily, every Spud was watching the game intently. There's a couple guys sitting on that back railing of the bench that were put in danger. Here's the 0-2, bounced into Cadena. And now Trent Rucker will try to give it back between his legs like he was snapping a football as a center. And Noah Cadena said, yeah, I'm not going to take it from you that way. So Ludvigson still ahead 1-2 here to Trent Rucker. The pitch ripped down the first baseline and just foul.
Yeah, that one was close. You could see where it bounced in the dirt and kind of skipped up all the dust and chalk.
Yeah, that one was flirting with fair territory. Luckily for Ludvigson, the count will remain 1-2 here to Trent Rucker. And the pitch. Chopped off the plate, high swinging bunt. Cadena's got it, bobbles, fires, and not in time. Credit Trent Rucker for scurrying down the first baseline, but it's going to be the fourth error of the ball game. And we're at the top of the fifth. To say it's been sloppy defense here for the Zap is an understatement. And they just have not shown up on one of the most important games of the season defensively, nor have they offensively.
Yeah, it's felt like the defense has kind of struggled throughout this series, but today has been just an absolute misfire.
So another two-out mistake for the Zap has put a runner on for the Spuds. Ludvigson fires a first pitch strike into Hank Harp. That was pretty tough play for Cadena. That one bounced real high, and he didn't have much time to make the play. Baltimore chopped to Farwell, firing over to first base, and the error does not affect the outcome of the inning for the Zap. They head to the bottom of the fifth, still trailing 4-0, looking for their first hit of the ball game when we return.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Bottom of the fifth inning here as Alex Jackson steps in against Kylan DePorter, who has been absolutely dealing today. And he delivers a first pitch strike swinging on Alex Jackson. You know, it was Alex Jackson who broke up the perfect game from Tristan Agadal, which seems like eternities ago. That was with 2 outs. Zap would end up scoring 3 runs off of Agadal in the following innings. We'll see if Alex Jackson can deliver the first hit of the ball game. Not going to be on that swing as he fans on a 0-1 pitch off speed, make it 0-2.
Yeah, that was all the way back in the second week of June.
I tell you, it sure feels like an eternity ago. So Jackson behind 0-2 here to DePorter. And that one way up and in for ball 1. Noah Cadena on deck. Emiliano Curiel in the hole here for the Zap in the bottom of the fifth. 4-0 Spuds lead. There's really been nothing to hang your head on so far for the Zap. Jackson takes the off-speed pitch down low. Count evened up at 2-2. There's been no hits for the Zap, 4 errors. All of these Spuds runs have come with 2 outs. And that one nearly worn by Jackson. Almost took it in the ear hole. But he's worked the count back to full. It's 3-2. So we'll see if Jackson, defending the plate, maybe he can work a walk here. He's ready to hit the payoff pitch. Down and away for ball 4. Great at bat from Alex Jackson. As he tosses the bat, tosses the arm guard and the shin guard, takes off the batting gloves and trots down to first. So a good start here to the bottom of the fifth inning for the Zap. Jamie Habiger finally made his way over to that third base coach's box and gives some signs while he's still getting set up over there. Jackson throws on the runner's mitten on the right hand to protect him from just this, a throw over to first base. He's diving back safely. Cadena Still awaiting the first pitch from DePorter. DePorter fires. Chop down the third base line, turning foul. Nice play by Coach Habiger. And a good throw on one bounce over to Bryce Van de Wastein in the dugout, who is the foul ball and ball replenishing czar. Whenever the umpire needs 3 fresh baseballs, it's Bryce Van de Wastein always on top of it. Used to be Naruto Saito's job. As this one's chopped to the shortstop, could be 2. On to second for 1, firing to first, but not in time as Noah Cadena legs out the prospect of a double play, but a good turn by Hank Harp and Andrew Witt gets the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up Emiliano Curiel.
Yeah, and I can't believe Billingsley caught that, kind of turning and having to dive for it to keep it from going to the backstop. Could have had Cadena on second if he doesn't make that catch.
We'll see if Cadena gets to second anyway if he wants to steal. Zap are going to have to manufacture some runs against Kylan DePorter, who has been outstanding today. I couldn't say perfect because he has given up a few walks, but he is still yet to give up a hit to the Zap. That one misses down and away to Curiel for ball 1. There's a huge gap between the left fielder, Matt Marsick, and that left field line. He is shaded way over towards the center field spot in that outfield. Gonna check on the run over there at first base, Noah Cadena. He's back diving safely. DePorter comes set here to Curiel. The 1-0 pitch. Down low, ball 2, and Burt couldn't find it for the moment, but then gets on top of it. Keeps Cadena at first. Really just need that one hit, maybe to get that confidence going. It has not been the Zaps' best day defensively. Kylan DePorter behind 2-0 here to Curiel. And that one catches the outside part of the strike zone for strike 1. A good off-speed pitch by Kylan DePorter. Two and 1 count, 1 out, runner on first here for the Zap. DePorter delivers. That one line foul over the netting along the first base line. Curiel really stretching out after each swing or each pitch. He's kind of lifting that leg up, twirling it over the right leg, and then he'll squat down and kind of move left and right. 2-2 count. And Emiliano Curiel wears the 2-2 pitch. Second hit batsman of the day for the Zap.
It's the second time he's been hit, too. I
So
think he's had both of them.
They'll take it. And Gavin Frazier is going to come and hand off some padding for Emiliano Curiel, who's still stretching out over there on first base. And now they're going to come out and talk to Kylan DePorter.
Yeah, he's been excellent so far in this one, but some cracks showing here in the bottom of the 5th.
And I'm trying to think of ways of how these Zap runners can advance to second and third. There really hasn't been any pass balls. Parker Bird has done an outstanding job behind the dish today. He really hadn't had to work that hard. Kylan DePorter's been hitting all of his spots.
That could be a big inning here for the Zap. You're trailing by 4, but you are not out of this game if you can get some runs here.
Now, plenty of baseball left to be played, as it'll be the top of the lineup for Andrew Phillips. As we'll hope to see Gavin Frazier after Phillips. And if they could get even deeper to Vince Polizzi and that 3-hole, Zap would definitely be in business. The left side of the infield playing pretty shallow. The right side playing at normal depth to the left-hander Phillips, up and in for ball 1. Phillips with a deep breath. Kylan DePorter has missed some of those spots here in the bottom of the 5th, as it looks like Will Ianconi is maybe trying to figure out who he wants to head down to that bullpen to get loosened up. Nobody down there right now, as the 1-0 pitch is in there for strike 1. DePorter's pitch count starting to work up a little bit higher in numbers. But these Spud starters have shown that they can go deep into ball games, especially with a high pitch count like we saw from Cade Queen, who got past the century mark in his outing. 1-1 pitch to Phillips, swung on and missed for strike 2. So DePorter with a deep breath, trying to get the second out of the inning. Here Andrew Phillips behind 1 and 2. Cadena at second, Curiel at first. Pitch to Phillips off the plate for ball 2.
Yeah, that one, the 78th pitch of the day for DePorter, kind of running to the end of his outing.
So DePorter, when he kind of regathers himself in between pitches, he steps off to his right of the rubber. Takes a deep breath, walks back on, and now delivering the 2-2. Phillips lines it into left field. Marsick with a couple steps over to his left, there to make the play for the second out of the inning. So it'll be up to Gavin Frazier with 2 outs here and 2 on to try to get the first Zap hit of the day. Of course, it only takes one. The Sunday Fun Day item on the menu today are buffalo chicken nachos. How good does that sound? Always a unique item on the Sunday Fun Day menu. We've seen meatball subs, baked potatoes, and now buffalo chicken nachos as Gavin Frazier checks his swing on the first pitch low in the dirt. Richard Gilmore says he didn't go. Good call from the base umpire. It's 1-0 to Frazier.
There's only one more Sunday Fun Day this year. The last game of the year.
Man, you're going to make me tear up in the booth. What a fun summer it's been here at Heinz Stadium, and the Zap trying to extend it into the postseason. They would have at least one game here at Heinz Stadium, or at least 2 games, I should say. 1-0 count to Frazier. Cadena bouncing back and forth at second, and that is as late of a time as we have seen afforded. Blauett awarded it, and he had to spin out of the way of the pitch.
He awarded it, and then DePorter, I don't think he saw him award it, and he fired the pitch, and that one was pretty close to hitting the ump.
Yeah, good thing it didn't. Blauett had the face mask off. So it's still 1-0. Unfortunately for Frazier, it would have been 2-0 as the pitch was way high. But Frazier will take ball 2 down low in the dirt. And if Frazier could get on, you would bring the tying run to the plate in the form of Vince Polizzi. And who knows, Vince Polizzi, who's due for a long ball, could tie things up with one swing. But you got to get Frazier on here with 2 outs. 2-0. Oh. Strike 1. That one catching the slightest piece of the strike zone on the outside corner. Must have been the lace that caught the outer half of the zone. 2-1 to Frazier. DePorter sets and delivers. Chopped foul, and it's now 2-2. Devin Skelton trying to get Gavin Frazier a little bit of confidence there, clapping his hands. Couple words for him from the Zap dugout. 2-2 count, 2 outs. 2 runners on with number 2 in the batter's box. DePorter comes set. Got to be thinking off speed here. It's a fastball high, and the count runs full.
You got to find a way on here, and the whole team has been in a slump today, and you would just love to end that this inning and try to chip away at this lead or even take it with 2 outs.
There's really been only 2 hard-hit balls today. Here's the 3-2 runners going. Chop towards third. Opine's got it. With a hop and a skip, he fires to first, and that'll retire the side. So still no hits for the Zap. They trail 4-0 as we head to the top of the 6th here at Hyde Stadium.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers non-stop flights to Denver. Starting August 1st, book your destination at United.com. With United Mileage Plus, you can save more by earning miles when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. 1-hour flights to Denver and the world beyond. Avoid the crowds, avoid the drive, and enjoy free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. United Airlines in Pierre starting August 1st. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre.
We're good at making excuses for things we don't want to do.
I can't work late because my cat has a job interview.
Unfortunately, we're also good at making excuses for things we shouldn't do, like driving drunk.
There's nothing on the back roads but cows.
The truth is, there's no good reason to drink and drive. Not even if you stick to the back roads. If you drink, don't drive. No excuses. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
If you're interested in becoming a valued sponsor of an Oahe Zap broadcast, you can contact us for more information at sports@dakotaradiogroup.com or call us at 605-224-8686.
Hey Zap baseball fans, it's Justin Cowart. If you're interested in a podcast that's sports and only sports, you need to check out Players Perspective. I have athletes and coaches from the South Dakota area and across the country, from the high school all the way up to the professional level. Come on and tell stories of their biggest and best moments of their athletic careers. If it's sports, you bet we cover it on Players Perspective Podcast, sponsored by Avera. You can find it wherever you find podcasts by searching DRG Media Group or on drgnews.com. Now, back to myself and Dylan Beach in the broadcast booth for some more Zap baseball.
Quinn Ludvigson firing for the first pitch of the 6th, and it's a strike for him. Sunday fun day here at the ballpark. Buffalo chicken nachos.
They really don't miss, too.
Got delivered some of those during the break. They were very good as Marsick wears that one. So Ludvigson had him behind the count 0-1, but comes back and gets him. Mason Lang checking in at catcher for Noah Cadena. I believe that might be the only substitution at this stage in the ballpark for the Zap.
And we're still 4 innings of baseball, but this is quickly becoming a day to forget for the Zap.
And that one runs inside and fouls off the bat.
Got the nub of the bat. Don't often see that.
It looked like Wilcox is going to be the second straight batter hit, but hits off the nub. I think he'd rather ward off the bat than off his gut there, as that one runs inside for strike 2. A lot of action on that fastball from Ludvigson.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of anger in that one.
Shakes off a pitch. See what he goes to for the 0-2. Fires that one missing high and inside for ball 1. By no means is it an insurmountable lead, trailing by 4. You've seen bigger deficits that you've come back from, but there's not been a lot of hope in the air, as that one's driven sharply to left. That one going to get down. Curiel giving chase. Marsick rounding second for third. Curiel relaying it back in. It'll be a no-out double. Runners on second and third for the Spuds.
On a 2-strike count, too. Just seems that the Zap can't get anything going today.
And
all 4 of the runs have come with 2 outs. They've come as gifts. I mean, big gifts with giant bows on top. You get ahead and give up a 2-strike double.
The 0-0 here from Ludvigsen. In there for strike 1. Lang wanting to go have a word with his pitcher.
Yeah, probably making sure they're on the same page with the signs, having a runner on second base there, because runners on second will often try to relay the pitches back to the batter. You see it all the time. So you got to make sure that you're on the same page with your pitcher, especially being the new catcher checked in this inning.
So they've had their visit. Ludvigsen battling here against Hunter Billingsley. Sets himself the 0-1. That one skied foul and drifting towards out of play, and that one going to get into the grass. Zap trailing 4-0. Quinn Ludvigsen coming in relief for Aiden Johnson today. And the Zap, they got out of a first inning jam, which has kind of been the inning that's been hurting them in this series versus the Spuds. But then later on, they just couldn't keep them off the board in the second and the third. The 0-2 now just misses for ball 1.
That was a great-looking pitch from Ludvigsen.
Ludvigsen trying to come back here, get the first out of this inning. And a big jam here, but you really can't afford to give up any more runs. The 1-2, low for ball 2. Ludvigsen really sets up with kind of his back towards the batter. It's kind of like the inverse of A.J. Ponciano. A.J. Ponciano a righty, and Ludvigsen a lefty, both kind of setting up their back turned. Ludvigsen comes set for the 2-2. That one misses off the plate for ball 3.
Yeah, it goes back to that 0-2 pitch that looked so good. Thought it was strike 3. And then he hadn't really been able to get himself back in the zone. See if he can fire a good payoff pitch here.
Huge jam, the 3-2. Skips in for ball 4. The appeal to Richard Gilmore, he checked his swing and he held back, so the walk will stand, and now the bases are loaded, nobody away. So a massive jam here, a force out everywhere. Zap had this a couple of games ago with Cooper Van Lucien on the bump. They turned the double play a 5-2-3 double play. Sure they would love to get one of those here again. Ludvigsen comes set, fires off speed in there for strike 1.
It's a good start to McCarville. Get ahead in the count. Try to get a ground ball. Try to get a strikeout here and then get your ground ball. You almost feel like you have to get out of this inning.
0-1, off speed once again, a nice pitch there from Ludvigsen.
You almost feel like you have to get out of this inning without giving up. It's hard to say any runs with bases loaded and nobody out, but at least with minimal damage.
Yeah, this one cannot turn into a 6 spot. Really put you out of this ball game. The 0-2 from Ludvigsen. Off speed off the plate. So, a tense jam here for Quinn Ludvigsen on a quiet Sunday afternoon in South Dakota. Ready's the pitch, the 1-2. Goes down looking. Good comeback pitch there from Ludvigsen. Gets McCarville on the inside part of the zone.
Yeah, and he set him up with all off-speed pitches and then fired a fastball. Gave him a different look and just kind of froze him up. So that's exactly how you need to start with nobody out and bases loaded. Get the strikeout and see if you can get a ground ball and have your middle infield turn a double play for you and get you out of this jam.
Double play could be just what the doctor ordered for the Zap here. Trailing 4-0 with bases loaded. That one off speed, chopped foul. So that one gets back into play. One lucky Spud having to run out of the dugout and chase that one down. As Ludvigsen now ahead of the count, 0-1. One away, bases loaded. And it would be just a massive double play if he could get a ground ball. So that one's fouled off for strike 2.
I mean, if you get a strikeout here, then you're really feeling fortunate.
Try to do the reverse 1-2-3. Gave up the first 3 runners, come back and strike out the next 3. The 0-2. That one swung on a miss. Big strikeout there for Ludvigsen. 2 in a row.
Well, it's been an issue for the Zap. We saw them earlier in this series. Bases loaded, nobody out. They were unable to bring anything across. But you're not out of the woods yet. You got Jack Opine at the plate. And you do feel like if you could put yourself in a jam like this and get out of it with giving up no runs, maybe that could be the momentum shift you need.
Still a lot of baseball to be played. Sorry there, Justin. What were you saying?
I was just going to say, after that swing and a miss on strike 1, but you've got to do just that. Get out of this inning unscathed, and that's a good start with this at-bat, firing a first-pitch fastball in for a swinging strike.
Opine has been so dangerous this year against the Zap. Be a big out to get out of this jam unscathed. Ludvigsen said that one fouled off. 0-1. Trying to say he sets himself up. Now, that was a big strike for Ludvigsen. A chance to go 3 straight strikeouts and just get himself out of another massive jam. Zap, it feels like they've been navigating jams this entire series. Johnson was working with a whole bunch of them earlier. Got out of one in the first, but couldn't in the second and the third. The 0-2, check swing, put into play. Hammonds fields it, runs to the bag, taps it. The Zap get out of a massive jam. They load the bases with nobody away. Ludvigsen, 2 strikeouts and a ground out. Gets him out of a big one. We'll see if the Zap can respond here in the bottom of the 6th.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media peek can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com, just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
A huge inning there for Quinn Ludvigsen. Had his back against the wall, bases loaded, nobody away. comes back with 2 strikeouts and a softly struck ball to Connor Hammonds to get out of a massive spot. And then it's the heart of the order for the Zap due up. Polizzi, Farwell, and Pugrad. The Zap were knocking on the door the last time.
And you've got to start with a hit. You have to get on the board with a hit. Colin DePorter's been picking you apart. But you've been through the lineup a couple times.
As Polizzi sees the first pitch, drills that one out to left. That one going, and that one's out of here. Polizzi visits Aiden's area. A 1-run shot breaks up the no-hitter.
Well, we said he was due.
Yeah. Marsick tried to climb the wall, but he would have needed a ladder for that one. Polizzi leaves the ballpark for the first run of the day for the Oahe Zap.
Great start. And great to see Vince Polizzi kind of get that monkey off his back that he had been dealing with. Left the ballpark so many times. And I think Aiden Johnson just looked up and pointed and said, to the area.
Attaboy, Aiden. He gets it now. The 6th home run for Vince Polizzi, tying his total for last season.
And Jamie Habiger kind of signaling over. Oh, they were.
I think the music guy thought that was on him.
No, I think he was.
Yeah, getting a ball.
A ball had escaped from the Spuds bullpen, and kind of awkward timing with that ball leaving over towards the Spuds bullpen. Nobody knew what Jamie Habiger was signaling for, but what a swing by Polizzi.
3-run ball game now. DePorter comes set, misses high and outside for ball 1.
Off the bat, that felt like a pop out to Marsick in left field, but with that breeze moving its way towards Aiden's area.
And Polizzi, so much pop in that bat. I mean, routine pop flies can just keep traveling a lot of the time with him as that one drops in for ball 2. So Polizzi, his 12th career home run in a Zap jersey, has really been one of the crucial pieces of this franchise. 2-0 now to Farwell. He skies that one to right. That one going to stay in the ballpark, dropping into the glove of the center fielder, Trent Rucker. So, Farwell goes down for the first out, brings Jared Pugrad up. That one was DePorter's 90th pitch. So we'll see how much longer he goes. There is action in that bullpen. As Pugrad steps in, Porter winds that one sky high from Pugrad. Shortstop settling under it, making the play. Hank Harp, a routine one there.
And I think the Zap will be happy to see Kylan DePorter's day end when it does come to an end.
Yeah, and he has been outstanding on the mound and has, despite having 6 Ks, he has induced a lot of weak contact as well.
Absolutely.
A lot of those weak pop flies as Hammonds fans over that one for strike 1.
It's been weak pop flies, a couple of softly hit ground balls. There was nothing soft about Vince Polizzi's swing.
It was a great swing by Polizzi. The 0-1 now to Hammonds. Turns 1-1. I mean, I feel like that was the last hard-hit ball we had seen since maybe the first or second inning when there was a couple of sharply hit ones to Andrew Witt at second. Zap has just not been their day at the plate as that one misses inside for ball 2.
No, it is not, but like we said, you just need one. You can't expect to get them all back in one inning. But 3 sure feels a lot better than 4 going into the 7th after this one wraps up.
2-1 to Hammonds. Swung, driven towards the gap. Rucker on his horse. He can't get that one. Hammonds chugging for second. We'll see if they send him to third. Hammonds in there standing at second. A 2-out double for Connor Hammonds.
Great piece of hitting by Hammonds, and give the center fielder And Trent Rucker, a lot of credit. He really made a great attempt at that. Thought it was going to be another one of those plays where a good swing by a Zap player gets stolen away by a great defensive play, but Connor Hammonds delivers for his team, and this team has been so good with 2 outs all season long. Maybe Jake Daly can offer a good swing here for the Zap as he checks in.
You said Palizzi was due, and you said Hammonds were due, and both of them getting some big hits in this inning. See if Jake Daly can join in on the party. 2 away, the Zap trailing 4-1. First offering from DePorter. Misses for ball 1.
Jake Daly got a little confused by that. Got his legs looked a little wobbly as that curveball came in.
It was a wicked pitch that had Jake Daly stepping off the plate, but just missed the zone. 1-0 now to Daly. Swung foul for strike 1.
And I'm not sure. Parker Burt looked like he got hurt on something there. I can't imagine what it would be. Kind of looked like he leaned over to his right in pain. Blau at the home plate umpire saw it too, so he stepped out in front of the home plate area to get that ball back to Kylan DePorter. Not sure what that could have been. Hope Bert's okay.
He was looking for the ball, but couldn't find it because it got behind him, and then kind of sat there for a minute. Daly even in the count awaiting the offering. That one missing for ball 2. So Connor Hammond's out on the second. It would have to be a really well-placed ball for Daly to score Hammonds from second.
Well, with 2 outs, he's running on contact, so maybe he can find a gap somewhere.
2-1. Turns 3-1 to Jake Daly. Sure they would love an extra base runner here. Mason Lang in the on-deck circle. Tie it up with 1 swing. 3-1 now to Daly. Got the green light. Hits that one softly to Witt at second. And a routine play there from the second baseman. And the Zap get 1 back on the bat of Palizzi. They trail 4-1. We'll be right back after this short break on River 92.7.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night. So get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on oahezap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, we've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
It's still Ludvigsen for the Zap, and the Zap have gotten their first 2 hits of the ball game in the bottom of the 6th. It was a Vince Palizzi home run that brought in their first run of the ball game in their first hit. Connor Hammonds followed that up with a double into left center. Zap still trailing 4-1. Quinn Ludvigsen trying to keep it there. He's been good in relief. Been a day to forget defensively for the Zap, but they have kept it in striking distance. 5 hits, 4 runs for the Spuds. No errors. 2 hits, 1 run for the Zap. 4 errors. As Ludvigsen got into a massive jam the last time he was out. Loaded the bases with nobody out. But he got 2 strikeouts and a softly grounded ball to Connor Hammonds to end the threat. It'll be Parker Burt, Trent Rucker, and Hank Harp, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters here for the Spuds as we head to the top of the 7th inning on a hot and beautiful day here in central South Dakota. And Parker Burt with the longest hair we have seen here at Hyde Stadium out of any opponent. And he takes ball 1 in the dirt.
That is certainly a great head of hair.
And the PA announcer in the music department, as Burt swings and fans on a fastball, makes the count 1-1. They are, you often hear the orchestra, the player of the at the baseball games. I'm blanking on the name of the instrument. Was hoping that somebody up here could help me out. That 1-1 misses low.
Like an Like, are you just talking about the organ?
Yeah. The organ player.
The organist?
Is that what it's called?
I think it is.
The guy who plays the organ at the ballpark. They always. I'll get to that in a moment. That's a swing and a miss on a 1-1 pitch. Make it 1-2 or 2-2. I'm all confused. The organist, they'll play a song to kind of poke fun at the opposing hitter. Well, the music department just played "Dude Looks Like a Lady" by Aerosmith here from Parker Bird. I got to say, I think Parker Bird's got luscious locks of hair. Here's the 2-2. That one misses low to run the count full. Now, sometimes you hit him out of the park, Dylan. Sometimes you swing and miss. Here's the payoff pitch to Parker Burt. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Well, Parker Burt and I both swinging and missing there in that at bat. First out of the inning for Quinn Ludvigsen, another K. And that'll bring up Trent Rucker here for the Spuds.
Yeah, and since giving up that jam, Ludvigsen has been sharp on the mound, man.
Yeah, he sure has been. And the beer batter delivering more discounted beer for these fans on a hot Sunday afternoon at Hyde Stadium. First pitch to Rucker, chopped off the end of the bat towards Frazier at second. He'll field it on the hop, fire to Hammonds at first, just in time. They get Rucker by a half a step for the second out. That's efficiency at its finest for Quinn Ludvigsen. One pitch to get the second out, and it'll bring up Hank Harp with nobody on.
Yeah, it would be big to get a quick inning here and try to get your offense back out there after you saw some signs of life out of them.
And we might see the end of Kylan DePorter's day. We'll have to wait till the bottom of the 7th to know for sure, as the first pitch to Harp curls in for strike 1.
A pitcher's still warming up out there. I'd have to imagine it's the end of the line if they have him still getting loose.
0-1 count here to Harp. This is down and in for ball 1. Harp sporting the yellow batting gloves with the red elbow guard in the batter's box. 1-1 to Harp, runs way inside for ball 2. And looking at these jerseys, here's the 2-1. That one catches the zone for strike 2. I'm going to have to really get up close to these Spuds players before I concede and admit that their outlining is purple. That one fouled off the neck of the bat. Because it sure looks blue to me from up here. I know that their color is purple, but there's definitely, at least to me, looks like some baby blue on the outline of Spuds and the outline of those numerals. Maybe we could get a Spud walking by to go to the facilities, or maybe even stop in for a slushie, and I could tell for sure from up here in the broadcast booth. But I'm not waving the white flag yet. Here's the 2-2, chopped towards Pugrad at short. He plays it on a funky hop, fires across the diamond, and the throw was just a bit wide for Connor Hammonds. Pugrad had to speed up the throw a little bit after the bobble on the unique hop off the skirt of the infield. And so more two-out threats for the Spuds.
And credit to Hammonds trying to make an athletic play there, make the catch and tag all in one motion, but couldn't keep it in the glove.
Yeah, for a left-handed thrower and catcher, and Connor Hammonds, the throw kind of came in on his left hand, his glove's on his right, so he had to reach across his body, and all in one movement, he tried to catch it and twirl in the air to tag the runner as he went by. That'll bring up Matt Marsick. He takes ball 1 off the plate. Breeze is picking up here at Hyde Stadium, now pushing way off out towards right field. Flag has picked up its intensity. There goes the runner off for second. Lang firing down. Pugrad can't pick it, and it gets by Frazier. Now he's going to try to take third. Throw in from center field, not in time, and there's more sloppy play on the infield. That's the 6th error for the Zap today. And now the runner gets to third. This is about as ugly as it gets. It's going to be tough to get a fast Hank Harp Gavin Frazier doing his best to back up the throw. Pugrad kind of got blocked out by the runner, so he was going to have a tough time making that pick anyway. But Frazier kind of ran by that ball on the backup, and now Marsick takes ball 3 high. When you've got 3 times as many errors as you do hits, well, for lack of a better term, that's just not good. 3-0 finds its way into the strike zone for strike 1. 6 errors and 2 hits for the Zap. They've got 1 run on the Vince Polizzi homer. Ludvigsen deals the 3-1, fouled off by Marsick, and the count is full. Couple of substitutions out in the outfield. Nick Golden in center and Jake Daly in right. Jamie Habiger trying to keep it mixed up here on this day game. The 3-2 just off the plate for ball 4. And Marsick will take his free base. So that'll bring up Caden Wilcox. And I think all things considered, the Zap should feel pretty lucky that this is just a 3-run ball game.
And that's a thing that, I mean, you've been just shooting yourself in the foot all day, but it is still a close game if you could just wake it up here in the later stages of this one.
And Ludvigsen starts off Wilcox with a swinging strike. He foul-tipped it. Lang held on to it. But with as silent as the Zap bats have been, this will be another big jam for Ludvigsen to get himself out of. And with 2 outs, if that runner goes, if Marsick tries to steal second, I don't think you should throw it down to second. You've got a speedy runner at third, unless you feel like you can get the out, which Marsick has not been thrown out stealing much this season. He fakes the steal, and that one's called strike 2. Good fastball in the inside corner. And now Ludvigsen just 1 strike away from getting out of yet another jam. Runners on first and third. 2 outs, 0-2 count. Here to Caden Wilcox. Ludvigsen sets and fires, and that one's skied up on the infield. Coming back our way. Lang giving chase, running out of room, sliding. What a play by Mason Lang to squeeze the 3rd out of the inning. So the Spuds threaten again with 2 outs. Nothing comes of it. We head to the bottom of the 7th. It's time to stretch here at Hyde Stadium. 4-1 Spuds lead. We'll see if the Zap can chip away after this break on River 92.7.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night. So get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on oahezap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, we've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
New pitcher on the bump here for the Spuds as Kylan DePorter's day comes to an end, and boy, are the Zap happy to see that. He only gave up 2 hits to the Zap, both of which came in the bottom of the 6th inning, one of which was a Vince Polizzi solo shot, and Connor Hammonds had a double. The new pitcher here is Brennan Daniel for the Spuds. Tall and skinny right-handed hurler. And the first hitter he will face will be Mason Lang, who just made an outstanding play to end the top of the 7th inning. And a big day for Mason Lang, as it is his birthday today. We'll see if he can light the candle with a big swing in his upcoming at-bat. As Brennan Daniel gets loosened up. 4-1 lead here for the Spuds in the bottom of the 7th inning. Spuds took game 1 after an outstanding start from Cade Queen, and they took game 2, did the Zap. And one of the most thrilling games we have seen at Hyde Stadium in recent memory. I'm sure that Post 8 has probably had an exciting game or two, but with the crowd size that we had here last night, with all the intensity between these two teams, the back and forth that we had, the comeback win for the Zap, to send everybody home happy, the walk-off win in the bottom of the 10th, boy, that was fun. And the Spuds answering nicely here, but Zap with 9 outs to play with, need to find 3 runs at least to tie this game up, and it'll start with Mason Lang. Brennan Daniels' first offering is taken for strike 1 on the inside corner. That one, a good start for Brennan Daniels' day. Here's the 0-1 to Lang, taken high for ball 1. And some interesting sound effects coming out of that.
They're exploring the entire soundboard.
They really
today.
are. They can't say I know what that one was for. This one on the 1-1 chopped off the end of the bat down the third baseline. That'll roll foul.
We had the submarine radar one earlier. I don't know what that last one
like
was.
Morse code or something of that nature. They nailed it with Dude Looks Like a Lady for Parker Burt, the Aerosmith song, as Mason Lang swings over top of an off-speed pitch for strike 3. The only problem was they continued to play it for Trent Rucker, who was pretty clean cut up top, so Brennan Daniel gets his day started with a swinging strikeout. That'll bring up Emiliano Curiel. Curiel, then Andrew Phillips, and hopefully for the Zap, Gavin Frazier and more. Curiel with a bat twirl of the left hand, comes set. And the first pitch from Daniel to Curiel is ripped towards the right side and past a diving Andrew Wedd. So Curiel reaches on a sharply hit single. And now the man of the hour last night, Nick Golden, will come up to the plate for the Zap. So Andrew Phillips will be moved around. Nick Golden has entered the game, and Tyler Hoffman will hit for Gavin Frazier if the Zap can get to him. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Zap trailing by 3 with a runner on first, and Nick Golden, who delivered the game-winning hit last night, will swing and foul off the first pitch into the thigh of Parker Burt. He's going to hobble around and shake that one off. You know that one hurt Burt. And more random sound effects coming out. Burt still kind of wobbling and hobbling around behind the catcher's squad area, and Blowett out to talk to Brennan Daniel. Maybe talking about what's on the menu for later tonight. Burt fires a thumbs up back at his pitcher, says, "I'm good to go." 0-1 to Golden. Golden is aggressive in that left-handed batter's box. Here's the 0-1. He rips one into right field, but right to Cale McCarville. McCarville makes the grab, and Curiel has to scamper back to first. A good swing there from Nick Golden, but again, right to a Spuds defender. And now with 2 outs, it'll be up to Tyler Hoffman here in the bottom of the 7th.
Man, that one was absolutely ripped from Nick Golden, but that's kind of been the Zap struggle this year, is just hard hit balls just right where the defense is at.
So we get to see Tyler Hoffman for the first time today. Hoffman awaits, Daniel delivers, and it's an off-speed pitch high for ball 1. Nice steady breeze continuing across the ballpark as we creep up on the 5 o'clock hour. 90 degrees here in Pierre today. And a wealth of sunshine as Hoffman fouls that one off, evens up the count at 1 apiece. Zap and Spuds will settle this series tomorrow night at 6:05 here at Hyde Stadium. Zap will have an off day, get themselves rested up before welcoming in the Fremont move. 1-1 misses high for ball 2. The Fremont Moose Series will be the last home series until Hastings comes to town on the 26th and 27th. Daniel behind 2-1. This one lined back our way, foul over the broadcast booth. So now it's a 2-2 count with 2 outs. Vince Palizzi delivering the only run for the Zap, waits in the on-deck circle. Hoffman with a couple of practice swings. Now waits the 2-2 pitch. He rifles that one down the right field line. McCarville coming over, diving and just out of his reach in foul territory, right in front of the Zap bullpen. Man, he gave a great effort at that one. Did Cale McCarville.
Yeah, he was chugging along and just barely behind that one.
So Hoffman will live to see another pitch. Brennan Daniel needs a ball to deliver that pitch and gets one from Blowett. Zap dugout starting the clap chant. The Zap clap as we do another 2-2. Swung on and missed. A good off-speed pitch from Tyler Hoffman, gets Tyler Hoffman down swinging, and Brennan Daniel gets out of the bottom of the 7th unscathed. We head to the top of the 8th inning. Zap trailing 4-1 here at Hyde Stadium.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy it at downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes. Pay by the round. Save with a punch card or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Drew Drake on the mound, coming set, firing off speed in there for strike 1 here in the 8th inning. Zap still trailing 4-1, been behind all day as he fires that one in foul towards left field. Curiel giving chase, and he can't bring it in. He overshot it. So that'll be a leadoff double for the Spuds. Curiel was giving chase, so was Pugrad and Farwell, and it looked like Curiel was going to bring it in, and then as it was landing, he tried to put on the brakes because he had overshot it. And that is just a frustrating one for the Zap.
Yeah, waiting to see if that gets carded as in the 7th error of the day for the Zap.
I feel like that one has to.
That was pretty routine. I mean, he did have a lot of ground to cover, but you've got to help your pitchers out.
As Drew Drake now with a man standing on second, nobody away. checks on that runner, readies himself on the mound, steps off for time. So the runner kind of getting to him. Katie Acosta's got it in as an error. Hyde Stadium scoreboard does not. So Billingsley bouncing around on second after the 7th error of the ball game for the Zap. Simply to say, that is not a statistical category you want to put up 7 of.
In a game that could theoretically define your season.
As that one's fouled off into Capitol Avenue. It is another big game and a stretch of must-win baseball games for the Zap if you want to win that second half.
Well, what it essentially does, if you can't come back and win this one, essentially puts your season on the line tomorrow.
The 0-1 from Drew Drake. That one belted back the other way. Jake Daly giving chase in right field, bringing it in. The runner tags for third. Will get in there standing. So now the 5th run 90 feet away. One away here for Drew Drake. It was a good day on the bump for Quinn Ludvigson. Really got to give him a lot of credit for keeping things put. So he went 3 innings of scoreless ball, including getting in that big bases loaded jam. For a guy who plays majority of his time at first base, that is a very good outing. 0-0 from Drew Drake, runs high and inside for ball 1.
Yeah, he also had that jam with runners on first and third, got out of that as well.
It was just another really good relief performance for Quinn Ludvigson. Has been a very pleasant surprise in relief this year as that one runs in on the hands of Witt and catches him. So Witt will take his free trot to first base. Now runners on the corner, one away. And not the worst hit by pitch if you're Drake because it sets up a double play, but you do not want to be issuing free passes when Cody Clausius is stepping up to the plate after him.
Yeah, this guy can just about hit it to Fort Pierre over into those rolling hills, and he's got the wind at his back too.
As Drew Drake sets up to face against Clausius. Misses that one off the plate for ball 1.
And another situation where I think if you see Andrew Witt take off for second, you probably don't want to try to fire down and catch him stealing.
You're definitely not in the stage of the ball game where you feel comfortable trading and out for a run.
And that's not a sure out either.
Yeah.
And we've seen a lot of times where the Zap have tried to get him, and the runner from third has scored.
The 1-0 fouled off into Capitol Avenue. Felt like the Zap early on in the year, they got that double steal attempt where they threw it to second, they got the pickoff, they threw it back to home, and they got the out, and then it feels like every attempt since has just gone sour.
Well, they've been trying to chase that feeling, that play.
Such a great play, but it has just not been replicated as the runner goes, Mason Lang not even thinking about it, as that one missed for ball 2.
That was a shame, too. That was a great pitch that I thought was going to be strike 2.
Clausius ahead in the count, 2-1. Zap running out of baseball in the Sunday matinee. 2-1 now. Swung, driven to right center field. That one drifting towards the gap. That one gets down. That one's going to score 2. The Casper Spuds have blown this one open. Cody Clausius coming off the bench with a big double.
And that's where those errors come back to hurt you, because you, at some point, we're going to give up a big hit. And you feel for Drew Drake with an error made earlier in this inning. One of those runs really shouldn't be on the base paths, but with the errors earlier, you couldn't afford to give up that big hit. You couldn't afford to put those runners on.
And it has just been a nightmare day for the Oahe Zap at the office.
Sure has been. We saw runners score from home on a strikeout.
Now one away here for Parker Burt. He watches strike one. This sound guy's just harping on his long hair today. Drew Drake coming set. The 0-1 driven towards center field. Nick Golden sizing it up, bringing it into the glove. The runner thought about tagging. That was a good throw back in from Nick Golden.
Yeah, off his back foot, too.
I thought he was going to tag with Golden kind of catching that one on that back foot like you said, but he threw a bullet back into Pugrad.
Hey, Alex, is there post-8 tomorrow or Tuesday?
Drew Drake now trying to get out of this one with just the 2 runs allowed. He's got 2 outs, runner on second. And just the Zap, it has felt like the offense just really hasn't been working at times during this series, as that one swung on and missed for strike one to Rucker. And outside of a few good innings last night from the Zap, it's just been really quiet bats in this one.
It's been quiet bats, but it's also been quiet bats when you had runners in scoring position.
The 0-1 from Drake, swung on and missed again. Trent Rucker going chasing for a couple of them, and now he's behind in the count 0-2. So a chance for Drew Drake to get out of this one with just the 2 allowed. Try to see if his offense can get anything going, trailing by 5 in a crucial must-win series. The 0-2 now, swung foul into the crowd. Or that one doesn't even clear the netting. I thought that one was crowd bound for a slushy, but Bryce Van de Wastein will collect and take his spot back in the dugout. It'll be what feels like the 100th time tonight, the 3-4-5 due up for the Zap. So Vince Polizzi, maybe a chance for him to cut into the lead if Drew Drake can get the strikeout here. The 0-2 swung, chopped foul back.
Good to see Zachary Jackson still here. He's had a good couple days to send with his brother Alex. He's even rocking this Alex Jackson Zap jersey too. Love that.
Yeah, the custom Alex Jackson Zap jersey. A long extended day in Paradise as that one's fouled back our way. Mason Lang giving chase and making the play. Another good foul snag for Mason Lang to end the inning. We'll see if the Zap Bats wake up here in the bottom of the 8th on this sleepy Sunday afternoon.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Doing a little spring cleaning at your house? I'm Val Keller, City of Pierre Solid Waste Manager, letting you know the City Supply Swap program can help. We'll recycle cleaning supplies, paint, and other household chemicals you don't want anymore. Plus, you're free to take any products other people dropped off for recycling. The swap program helps our customers and keeps things out of our landfill. Supplies we accept include stains and sealers, pesticides, pool chemicals, typical cleaning agents, as well as oil-based paint, latex paint, and spray paint. For additional information, call 605-773-7434. Again, that's 773-7434 for more information about recycling your household supplies and paint. Let the City of Pierre help you get your home and garage cleared out and cleaned up for the summer months.
This public service message is brought to you by the radio stations of the DRG Media Group in Pierre.
Zap trying to come alive here, trailing in a must-split or better series. They trail 6-1 to their rival, the Casper Spuds, on this beautiful Sunday. And it has just been a day to forget for the Zap.
It's something about these afternoon games after big wins the night before where they just kind of come out sleepwalking, and it is really shown on the defensive side today. 7 errors. They have played sloppy. We saw maybe the most unbelievable of sloppy plays where Jack Opine struck out swinging. The ball got away from the catcher. They tried to get him out at first. The runner from third scored. The throw got past the first baseman into right field. The throw got through the infield on the relay, and Opine scored on a strikeout. Kind of sums up the day for the Zap today, but you still got 6 outs to try to score 5 runs. We've seen the Zap do it before.
Need a couple of big innings here as Polizzi watches that one high for ball 1. Polizzi left the ballpark for the only run of the Zap, who was the first hit for the Zap today. He visited Aiden's area. A nice home run. Right now the result reminds you of an Aiden Johnson home run. It has not been a very close game for the Zap as that one's sharply grounded to third, fired over to first in time. Clausius stretching and staying on the bag.
Well, let's just predict like this game stands the way that it does. You come back tomorrow, if you're the Zap, in a night game where they are going to need a huge crowd. They're going to need a crowd much like the one they had last night. And they're going to need everybody here on their A game to try and win what will essentially be a game for the rest of your season.
Farwell rips that one out and towards the gap. Rucker giving chase, but that one's going to get down. Ty Farwell chugging for 2, and he'll be in there standing. Sent out to that left center gap. A beautiful swing for Ty Farwell.
And there's a little bit of fireworks for Ty Farwell. Love seeing him go oppo because it shows off the power that he's got. That's a tough place to send a ball that deep, but when you've got the hips clearing through like Ty Farwell always practices before each trip into the batter's box, able to get it out there, and now you got another good hitter in Pugrad coming up.
A double to the deepest part of the ballpark for Ty Farwell. If that was 10 feet to its left, that one likely leaves. As Pugrad watches that one in for strike 1.
Surprised not to see Pugrad swing on the first pitch. He's akin to do that.
He loves to
hopping
attack
on that
it
first, yes.
He is always thinking attack as he swings through that one for strike 2. He's jumped on a lot of pitchers early this year when we've seen other Zap batters kind of struggle through that first time through the lineup, maybe even that second time, and feels like Pugrad a lot of times will jump on early pitches and really get to pitchers early in their days, as that one misses for ball 1.
Well, a lot of the times we see it too when the opposing pitcher gets ahead in the counts early, and Pugrad will say, look, I'm not even going to let that happen. I'm going to go ahead and jump on a pitch early, not let him get a first strike on me.
Pugrad lines that one sharply to third. Farwell back sliding.
And another hard hit ball by Jared Pugrad that ends up in the glove of an opposing player. It just seems to happen all the time. See if Connor Hammonds can do something here with this runner on second and Ty Farwell. Hate to get a one-out double like that from Farwell and not be able to score him.
Farwell heads for third. Hammonds ducks out of the way, but Burt couldn't get out of the glove.
And now 90 feet away. Almost feel like you have to get the base hit here.
Be big for Hammonds to be able to cut into it a little bit. As that one in there for strike 1.
Hammonds not real pleased with the call, but the pitch looked pretty good from up here.
Yeah, we don't have the greatest vantage spot, but certainly looked very good to us. 1-1. Skied to left. Marsick settling under it and bringing in the glove for the third out. So the Zap down to their final 3 outs. They got a 5-run deficit to erase here at Hyde Stadium, and just a day to forget as it stands. We'll be right back here on River 92.7.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Cooper Van Lucian's first pitch is ripped into center. What a play by Nick Golden as he dives and makes the leaping catch. Helping out his relief pitcher. 1 pitch, 1 out. Good start for the Zap here in the top of the 9th, trailing 6-1. And Trent Recker, Hank Harp, rather. I always get confused seeing Matt Marsick not in the leadoff spot. So he's got 1 out, and he's got 1 strike against Matt Marsick as the fastball catches the outside corner for strike 1. Van Lucian working out of the stretch. Quickly ahead, 0-2 to Marsick. An absolutely sun-drenched Sunday afternoon here at Hyde Stadium. The only shadow on the field has found its way over Connor Hammonds at first as that 0-2 pitch misses outside for ball 1. It's the shadow from one of the light poles down the right field line. The only other reprieve from the heat comes in general admission for the fans. Here's the 1-2 from Van Lucian. That one skied out towards Golden in center again. He's busy on his horse. Near collision in left center field, but Nick Golden squeezes it. And luckily, Emiliano Curiel curved off at the very last second. That's the last thing you need in a 6-1 ball game is a collision out in center field between 2 of your better outfielders. But a high five between the two. All is good, as Caden Wilcox will come up with 2 outs. And Cooper Van Lucian trying to make quick work here in the top of the 9th. First pitch to Wilcox is lined back into the netting, foul. It has been nothing but strikes here for Van Lucian, minus that 0-2 pitch that missed outside on the previous at-bat. Another stray bullpen ball finds its way down towards home, and now Caden Wilcox is going to have a quick chat with his third base coach. I didn't know you could do this in the middle of an at-bat.
I'm not quite sure what's going on here.
I don't either. They're having a long chat about something, and they're still talking, and well, Caden Wilcox has got the go-ahead. Surprised Richard Gilmore didn't dance across the infield to say, I'm not sure you can do that. But the message got across. Here's the 0-1 from Van Lucian off the end of the bat. That one might curve back in fair ground. It will. They'll toss it to first. Unbelievable. That ball started off the end of the bat in foul territory, and the side spin worked its way back in fair ground, and Van Lucian fielded it, tossed it to first for the third and final out. I'll tell you, you see something you've never seen at a ballpark before when you show up to Hyde Stadium, and maybe we'll see a ninth inning comeback for the Zap. They trail by 5, but we've seen it before. We'll be back with the bottom of the ninth inning after this break on River 92.7.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend, no joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash, and hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be, and trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and this station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes, pay by the round, save with a punch card, or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel? Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Well, we always love interacting with our YouTube commenters. One saying, wow, unbelievable on that foul ball that rolled fair. I got to share the sentiment with you. That was unbelievable. I've never seen a ball in real life start in foul ground and then turn back to fair. So, wow, unbelievable is correct. We welcome you back here for the bottom of the ninth. New pitcher here for the Spuds. It's Trey Maples on the bump. We saw Trey back in a couple months ago when the Spuds were here. And it has been all Spuds today. Their pitching has been great. Their defense has been great. And they are 3 outs away from getting a huge win for their playoff hopes. These two teams battling it out for that final playoff position. It's been a very exciting series thus far. These two teams trading blows. And Jake Daly will be the first hitter here for the Zap in the bottom of the ninth. First pitch from Maples is worn by Daly. So one pitch, one hit by pitch, and one runner on here for the Zap in the bottom of the ninth. That's a good way to start. It'll bring up Mason Lang.
That's a good start for the Zap. If you're trailing by 5 runs, you need as many base runners as you can get here.
So it'll be Mason Lang and then Emiliano Curiel. Maples comes set, and that one down and in for ball one. They must have been referring to the unbelievable weather we have here at Hyde Stadium because it is gorgeous. As Lang awaits the pitch from Maples, that's bounced, and a tough stop for Burt behind home plate, and Daly will take second. Thought about taking third. Tell you what, Parker Burt has been outstanding behind the dish today defensively. It feels like the first pass ball.
I think it has. And I think that is.
That'll probably be a wild pitch.
He has been remarkable behind the plate.
Yeah, he has.
He's been taking some blows,
He has been taking a beating back there, too. He's been kind of laboring a little bit on some of these foul balls that are going back into his body, but that's a pitcher's best friend back there in Parker Burt. 2-0 count here to Lang. That one misses low, ball 3.
This might be a take until you see a strike situation for all Zap hitters and see if you can get some base runners on freely.
Clap chant coming on here for the Zap home crowd. Here's the 3-0 pitch from Maples. Down low, ball 4, a 4-pitch walk for Mason Lang. And it'll bring Emiliano Curiel up to the plate. So Burt will call time. He wants to go talk to Trey Maples, who has been a little bit errant with his pitches to start. He hit Jake Daly on his first pitch and then 4 straight balls to Mason Lang. So Burt going to go try to calm him down, probably reminding him it's a 5-run game. Zap with only 4 hits.
Hudson Ivy going to be pinch running now for Jake Daly out there at second.
So Daly off the base paths, Ivy out there on him. And Curiel into the right-handed batter's box. Maples comes set. First pitch to Curiel. In there for strike 1. So that's his first strike in his outing. Again, both of these teams missing some guys from the suspensions handed out last night. Here's the 0-1 to Curiel. This one lifted. Gonna track towards foul ground, and it will land right in front of Jared Pugrad on the retaining wall.
I don't think anyone thought that one was going to land in play. That was a weird foul ball there.
It was a weird foul ball, and we've seen some weird foul balls over towards this area. Mason Lang's made 2 great catches from his spot behind the plate for the Zap today. Curiel behind 0-2 to Maples. See if he can get back in this at bat. The pitch is chopped. I think foul. It must have been foul. Again, the 2 suspended for the Zap was Esteban Baca and Caden Bazanski. Not a huge blow for the Zap because you've got Pugrad and Frazier to fill in second and shortstop. Bazanski mainly a second baseman, and Baca obviously not able to throw in this series. But the blows came for the Spuds. May not show themselves today because they're leading 6-1 as they check on Hudson Ivy over at second. But Jake Martinez, one of their better arms in the starting rotation, and Nick Kambulu, their scheduled closer, got suspended for their participation in the little scuffle after the game, including Cooper Hack. As this one's lined foul right into the window. We thought Eli Lewis was going to make the play on that one. Luckily, the window was there. And we've got a catcher's interference on the foul ball, so now the Zap have the bases loaded.
That was a very odd play.
That was. Never seen a hitter awarded first base on a foul ball. But we do know now that these windows are baseball proof. And now the base is loaded with nobody out here for the Zap, so they're going to go down swinging at least here in the bottom of the 9th, trailing 6-1. First pitch to Golden, misses high for ball 1.
If the Spuds do hold on to this one, a very impressive win for what they did lose in that suspension today, with who I was assuming was going to be on the bump for them either today or tomorrow getting removed from this series.
1-0 to Golden. In there for strike 1. Good off-speed pitch from Maples. And we could have seen Cooper Hack come back out in relief possibly at some point in this series, as he was about the hottest of all the Spuds in that exchange after the game yesterday. That one missing outside for ball 2. Yeah, yesterday with that whole little scuffle, it seemed it was over, and then, well, Cooper Hack wanted to get back in there a couple more times. But like I said, Will Ianconi and Jamie Happiger, they want to see their guys play with passion, as this one's bounced in, and here comes the runner from third. So Hudson Ivey will get his jersey dirty as he slides in for the second run of the ball game for the Zap. They still trail 6-2. But a walk and Tyler Hoffman coming up would be the tying run at the plate. Still nobody out. Golden awaiting the 3-1 pitch from Maples. Here's the offering. Swung on and missed from Golden, just a bit behind that off speed. Golden was antsy to get back in the batter's box. Here comes the payoff pitch. Maples looking in for the sign. And the delivery. Flying out to left field. Coming over to play it is Marsick. Will we see a tag? He fakes the run. The throw comes in high to Parker Burt, but he fields it. And that'll be a big first out here in the bottom of the ninth. So now their final 2 outs. Tyler Hoffman will come up to hit for the Zap. And in the on-deck circle is the always dangerous Vince Polizzi. So Hoffman went down swinging his last time up. See if he can avenge that with a base hit here. 1 out, runners on second and third for the Zap. Maples' first pitch to Hoffman is in the dirt. Good stop there by Burt. Maples has got his pant legs up over the knees, and the socks don't really quite get to the bottom of the kneecaps, so he's got both knees showing. That one off the plate. Another good stop by Burt to keep the runner at third.
And Maples just having some trouble finding the zone. He got Golden on that fly out, but just been kind of hit or miss so far in this outing for him.
And this is probably a spot that you would want to see Kambulu if you were able to have him. Here's the 2-0, make it 3-0 to Hoffman. And Polizzi, who is responsible for the first run of this game with a home run, could come up with a chance to hit another grand slam for the Zap if Hoffman could draw the walk. 3-0 pitch on the way, and it's inside for ball 4. So 1 out, bases are loaded, and Vince Polizzi is coming to the plate. And this might be the end of the line here for Mr. Maples. The Spuds are making their way out of the dugout. Will Ianconi calls down to the bullpen, so Trey Maples has loaded the bases. He's given up a run. And a new relief pitcher coming in for the Spuds. We'll get a number for you. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have more from the bottom of the ninth here. Zap threatening, trying to come back in this ball game. They trail 6-2, but they've got the bases loaded with only 1 out, and Vince Polizzi coming up.
The summer is here, and you know what that means. The Oahe Zap are back, and we at DRG Media Group are bringing you coverage of every Zap home game all summer long. You can hear all the home Zap games on River 92.7, or you can watch them live on drgnews.com at the River 92.7 station page. The Zap are offering you fans something new every single night, so get out to Hyde Stadium for some Zap baseball this summer. Purchase your tickets on oahezap.com or buy them at the box office. If you can't make it to the game, we've got you covered on River 92.7 Oahe Zap Baseball, brought to you by DRG Media Group.
It'll be Matthew Ramos on the bump for the Spuds. trying to close things out, get the Spuds a big win. Not really sure what we did to get on people's bad sides here, Dylan, but the Zap threatening with bases loaded and one out. And Ramos coming up, and Vince Polizzi, the big power hitter here for the Zap. If anything else, it's a gorgeous day. Couple clouds still hanging around the ballpark here with blue skies out behind them. Another good Sunday afternoon. Crowd has made their way out to Hyde Stadium. Saw a lot of Spuds fans here yesterday afternoon enjoying some Chislik. Parker Burt enjoying his new Chislik shirt. Got some grief from some of the Spuds for buying an Oahe Zap piece of merchandise. But I think Parker Burt looks great in his Chislik shirt.
Yeah, and I've been pretty tempted to buy some other teams' merch throughout this year. I mean, there is some great merch in this league.
And some great names. Like, I love the Spuds and the Sodbusters.
The Moo.
The Fremont Moo. Here's the first pitch to Polizzi from Ramos. That's off the plate for ball one. And if you want to try to pitch around Vince Polizzi, well, then you got to deal with Ty Farwell in the on-deck circle. And then you got Jared Pugrad right behind him. So not going to be easy for Ramos, but the pitching for the Spuds has been great all day. Here's the 1-0 from Ramos. Ripped up the middle by Polizzi. That's going to score at least one. Runner coming around second, heading for home. And the throw as Curiel comes diving in safely. Not in time, and the Zaps have cut it to a 2-run ball game. Big swing for Vince Polizzi. And now Ty Farwell represents the winning run. As Polizzi did it with the deep ball earlier, and he did it with a hot shot up the middle there. Still one out. 6-4 is the score. And now Ty Farwell, who delivered a beautiful opposite field shot into left center his last time up. Got to second on the double. Trying to do some more damage. First pitch to Farwell, ripped towards first. They're going to try to turn to it. Bobbles in the glove, and he's just going to have to run to first to tag out Ty Farwell. Hunter Billingsley, or excuse me, that's Cody Clausius who's checked in over at first base now. Had trouble with that, wanted to turn two, bobbled it for the moment, and then decided my only play is to first, and he got into a sprinting match there with Ty Farwell, and he won that race. So it's their final out, and it's Jared Pugrad with an opportunity to tie the game up. Runners will be going on contact with 2 outs. Zap always make it a dramatic finish in the first pitch to Pugrad, down and away for ball one.
I heard Nick Golden talking about his at-bat last night, trying to jump on an early pitch rather than let it get full. But we'll see Pugrad try to do the same. Jump on something early in this at-bat.
1-0, misses low, it's 2-0. And Pugrad loves to jump on these early pitches, as Dylan mentioned, but he wants something good to hit if he's going to do that. Ramos has missed away and low on the first two. Count is 2-0. Things have tightened up here for the Spuds. They need one more out to get this win. They lead 6-4, but the Zap have runners threatening. Big swing and a miss on a great off-speed pitch from Ramos.
That was a great comeback pitch there from Ramos.
Yeah, it was. And just kind of had the bottom fall out from underneath it. Been very impressed with these Spuds pitchers this whole series. 2-1 to Pugrad. The pitch. Swung on, fouled into the mid of Burt, and now the Zap are down to their final strike.
Back's against the wall just like it was last night. See if Pugrad can deliver.
Long look in for Ramos. 2 runners on, second and third, 2 outs and a 2-2 count to Pugrad. Ramos delivers, swung on and missed for strike 3, and that'll be the ball game. So the Spuds, with a little bit of danger, they allow 3 at the bottom of the 9th. The Zap leave runners on second and third. They go down in Game 3 of this series, and it sets up a must-win for the Zap tomorrow evening. We'll be right back for the post-game show. We'll wrap it all up for you here on the Oahe Zap YouTube and River 92.7.
Hey, it's your phone talking. Yeah, your phone. You know, that thing you're constantly picking up and poking around. Listen, when you're behind the wheel, would you please give me a break? You'll have plenty of time for your TikToks and, I don't know, texting your friends after you put it in park. Distracted driving, friend. No joke. One quick text or social media feed can cause a crash. And hey, I don't want any part of that. You got someplace to be. And trust me, I'll enjoy the downtime. Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety and its station.
Dunes Golf is celebrating their 30th anniversary this summer. They look forward to seeing old friends and new acquaintances on the driving range and on the course throughout the summer. Play 9 or 18 holes. Pay by the round. Save with a punch card or become a member for unlimited play. Dunes Golf is a great location for group outings or a summer play day. Call 605-223-2525 or see golfdunes.com. Just 1 mile north of Fort Pierre on Highway 1806. Dunes Golf.
Thinking of travel, Pierre Regional Airport offers nonstop flights from Pierre to Denver. From there, you can fly anywhere. Book to your destination and check bags through on United, Delta, or American Airlines. 1-hour flights on 50-passenger jets to Denver, then connecting to your destination. Save travel time and money, avoid the crowds, and free parking when you fly from Pierre Regional Airport. Skip the drive. Fly from Pierre Regional Airport.
Looking for happenings in Central South Dakota? The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce Community Calendar is your go-to for all the latest events. From entertainment to local benefits, community activities, and more, there's something for everyone. Email your event to contactchamber@pierre.org and it will be listed on the weekly calendar. To view the calendar, go to www.pierre.org. Let's celebrate together in the heart of South Dakota. The Pierre Area Chamber of Commerce, connecting our community one event at a time.
Tough loss for the Zap. They go down 6-4, but they make it interesting in the bottom of the ninth, scoring 3 runs, which didn't feel like anything was going for the Zap all day today. Pretty much self-inflicted. Hello, everybody. Justin Cowart alongside Dylan Beach and Eli Lewis. Wrapping things up for you. Zap falls 6-4 in Game 3 of this 4-game set. The Spuds got 2 in the second, 2 in the third, and all pretty much self-inflicted wounds, but you got to give credit to the Spuds for taking advantage of those wounds created by the Zap. And the Spuds pitching, again, outstanding today. We saw Kylan DePorter come out and absolutely shove. 3rd straight great outing from a Spuds starter in this series. Zap will have to come back tomorrow. The Zap answered with 1 run in the bottom of the 6th on a Vince Polizzi home run, but the Spuds would score 2 in the top of the 8th, which would prove to be crucial insurance, as the Zap's 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th would just not be enough, as the Spuds get the win, and Zap meet out in right field. Dylan Beach, your final thoughts here before we wrap things up for this afternoon and come back tomorrow night for a must-win game for the Zap.
Yeah, and that one feels pretty heartbreaking for the Zap, as this is a pivotal Game 3 in this series, and you got to come back and win it, because if you lose this one, you really lose that kind of driver's seat. You don't really benefit from the split as much either, but you never really felt like you were going to win this ball game today. There was a lot of self-inflicted errors, and you got it close at the end, so you have some momentum to bring in tomorrow, but just was not your day.
So we'll see if the Zap can figure things out defensively tomorrow afternoon. But want to just talk a little bit about the fight that the Zap showed. Nothing was going their way. They felt like they were playing a little bit stale, but they battled back and showed why they became a team that is battling for this final playoff spot and has found their way into first place, because there's no quit in this Zap team, as we saw there in the bottom of the 9th.
Yeah, I mean, they kept fighting there, and a couple of pitchers couldn't find the zone, and the Zap kind of on some unfortunate outs where they probably didn't put their best swing into it. And I mean, you showed a lot of fight until the very end, and you were kind of trailing the entire day today. It was not your day. 7 errors, just an ugly, ugly game, but you're still fighting. You're still trusting that process, and it's a must-win game tomorrow. We've said that about a lot of games, but tomorrow definitely you got to get that one to split this series.
So we'll see if they can, and they need you at Hyde Stadium. Pack the Hyde tomorrow. We need a big crowd for the Zap trying to get themselves into the postseason. Tomorrow won't do it, but it could undo it for the Zap if they don't win. So we'll see you tomorrow night here at Hyde Stadium. First pitch set for 6:05. We'll have the pregame show beginning at 5:55. Big thanks to all of our sponsors at the Pierre Chamber of Commerce, the Pierre Regional Airport, and Venture Communications for delivering our first inning Fiber Fact, along with Dunes Golf, country club quality at public course prices. Go have a great day at the Dunes. Well, for Eli Lewis, for my partner Dylan Beach, I'm Justin Cowart saying so long on this beautiful Sunday afternoon from Hyde Stadium. One final time, the Spuds take down the Zaps 6-4. We'll be back here tomorrow night on River 92.7 and streaming on the Oahe Zap YouTube. Coverage begins at 5:55. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great rest of your Sunday afternoon, everybody.
This broadcast of Oahe Zap Baseball was brought to you by DRG Media Group and its sponsors. The next home Zap game will be broadcast right here on River 92.7 and DRGnews.com. Thanks for tuning in.